Yo, what's happening, Wes?
What up, Ryan Paul? Just perusing this list here, seeing if there's anything on here that shouldn't be, or thinking if maybe there's anything that's not on here that should be.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely going to be. There's a lot of it. What we try to do on the Discord, we have a release calendar on the Discord, and a lot of stuff just gets kind of thrown into like there's just like unannounced dates that we assume are coming in 2025, and so especially near the beginning of the year, a lot of games get thrown onto that list because we're just like, oh, we're assuming it's coming this year. So there's probably a bunch of games that we're going to talk about today that shouldn't be on the list. And I'm sure that you can kind of educate us as we go. This was sort of thrown together a little bit. I've been working on making sure that the cats could vote on this and that we would have something to work with for the last like hour and a half or so. And it could have used a little more research, and there might be games missing too, which will make it even more fun. So,
Yeah,
yeah. But you ready to start the show, man?
I'm,
You ready to do this thing?
yeah. I'm as ready as I probably should be.
Okay.
I'm as ready as I typically am. So yeah, probably.
All right. Let's do it. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, WesDay, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure, and then we put this thing up on podcast services of your choice for your oral pleasure. The deep Brian Paul voice. That's for the ASMR people out there who
Thought you
really
were
need
going
some
to say the deep
pleasure.
oral pleasure. I was like, geez, man, you're going a little hard today, huh?
We're past the 45-second mark. We won't get demonetized. We're okay. That's the only reason why we have such a long introductions is to make sure we make it past the 45-second thing that keeps advertisers from advertising on our channel. Inside baseball, when it comes to YouTube, you generally won't hear people swear. For people who care about subscriber counts and view counts, you won't hear people swear in the first 45 seconds of their video or say anything crazy. Meanwhile, we usually F-bombs right out of the gate. My name is Bryan Figures It Out, right here with that Parole. And this gentleman over here to my left. You're right. It's Wes Dillon from Virtual Strangers. What's up, Wes?
What up? What up? What up? Hello, Brian. Hello, cats. Happy Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are again, back with another episode. It's already Wednesday, eh? That don't seem right, but we're here.
Yeah, nothing seems right, Wes. Everything's out of control. I don't know what to do. Every day just seems like another nightmare. And that's just my personal life. Forget about everything else. Man, we do have a lot of stuff to talk about today, though. You've been playing anything good before we get the ball rolling? You've been playing anything good for fun or for Virtual Strangers?
Not since our last episode, which we did on Sunday night. I did play some Midnight Walk on live after the podcast on Sunday and had a blast with that.
Nice.
Did a little bit of The Last of Us, but I had so much time burned on like technical issues trying to get it to run on my PlayStation headset instead of the Quest headset, and I didn't get to play as much of the game as I wanted, but it ran well with the Quest and it's ready to go now, so we'll be revisiting that one.
Nice. Yeah, you did do a stream on Sunday night, and I know my sleep schedule has been absolute garbage recently. And so just as I was about to go to sleep, I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning, I was flipping through YouTube and I was like, Wes is streaming at 4 a.m. And I almost stopped in, but I knew that, I was already having trouble getting to sleep. I knew that would keep me up for another hour minimum. So hopefully it was a good one.
Yeah, it was. There was a reason we went on late. Not that we don't typically go on very late. We do often, but this particular time, one of our community members and a close personal friend of mine, VRSpryGuy, he's in the hospital. He's going to die anytime, and he wanted to see another episode. And we were going to go on early with it on Sunday, thinking that would be better for him. He's on a bunch of painkillers and shit, and we thought that would maybe knock him out early, but he said no, later is better because later on they won't be coming in here and bothering me so much. There won't be family here. Like, I'm entertaining family all day, but after visiting hours, I'll be able to actually watch and be in the chat and stuff. So we went on late for him, and we went on Sunday instead of Monday for him. And yeah, he was in the chat, and it was a good episode. We had a nice talk about everything to kind of kick it all off. It was a bit of a downer, obviously, not fun subject matter, but it was a good episode, and it's been received well, and we had fun. So yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's an awful situation, and honestly, like on Monday, I was getting caught up, unfortunately, live on the air. I had not heard prior, and so learning about something like that, like in the middle of a show, you're like, what the fuck? It's a lot to take in, and a lot to process, I mean, I'm really glad that you're able to, like, do something for him, like, give him something. But also to hear you talk about it so bluntly, like you're like, he's literally going to die any second. Like, that is just so fucking painful to hear, like you try to keep your optimism up and your hope alive, but it doesn't sound like there's much hope left, huh?
No, there's not. I mean, he went in, like, he's had cancer, and we've known that for a little while now. He got diagnosed a few months ago, I want to say. But we assumed with treatment he was going to have a few years left. But he was having some pain last week, went into the hospital. They said, oh, fine, we can fix that, quick surgery, and you're good. We'll send you home. They go in for the quick surgery and just find his inside riddled with cancer badly. And when he woke up, they told him, like, you're not going home, dude. You're gonna die in a few days. And he's still here, and that's been about 5 days ago. But we thought he was gone yesterday. Like, we didn't hear from him, and we, again, he's a close friend. We hear from him regularly, and we've been talking to him since he went to the hospital. But we didn't hear from him yesterday, and we just assumed, he's gone. But this morning we woke up to a message, like, I guess he was just unconscious yesterday. So he's still here, but no, it's not, there's not a lot of hope. There is hope. There's always hope. Sure. Miracles do happen, but yeah, I mean, we don't expect that he'll be here for very much longer.
Well, VRSpryGuy, if you're still, what I was going to say was that I know that he used to hang out in the chat and used to be around here, but a lot of people have come and gone from our community, and so I don't know if he still watches this at all. But if you do, buddy, like, hopefully we've given you some entertainment to keep you distracted for the last couple weeks, and we love you, man, and hoping against hope for the best outcome possible. But lots of love, dude.
Absolutely.
We get Noctis with stopping in for his it's not daily, it's not weekly. So he's here 3 times a week like we are. So it's tri-weekly $1. Thank you so much. We got Not Sure Brondo with the $5 saying, making this list with AJ would be a 5-hour show. Thankfully with Wes it'll only be 4. That's we'll see. I don't think we're gonna dwell too long on each of these games, but and plus we do have a little bit to talk about other than the ranking. But we're gonna so let's get the show rolling, which is always a tough transition from serious conversation to video games, but we're gonna try to do it anyway. I know a lot of people on Twitter were asking about Critical Strike Shooter VR SWAT rescue missions, which came to PSVR2 this week, and because I care about you guys and I care about making sure you don't get ripped off, I played Critical Strike Shooter VR SWAT rescue missions extensively. I got through about 4 levels. Took me about 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so. And I got to tell you, you start this game up and you're like, it's really sharp. Why is this game so sharp? Like, it doesn't suffer from like really like the visual atrocities that some games do. It looks very sharp. The environments are very detailed. You start off in this neighborhood, and then you're like, oh shit, I can go into all of these houses. Like, it's I mean, almost Hitman level when you're like, this looks good. And then you take a single fucking step and the frame rate is absolute garbage. It's click turning only. Your hands will not stay put. Like, the tracking is the worst tracking I've ever seen in any VR game ever. If you try to hold your weapon, it's like you're moving too fast for your weapons to keep up with you. Like you'll see your gun slowly drift out of sight, and then sometimes you'll look down and your gun will just be missing. Like it's just no longer there, and you have to retrace your steps, and it'll be stuck in a door somewhere. It's absolutely crazy, and so which makes makes aiming impossible, right? And all it is it's sort of, they give you these small environments to explore, and generally you have to go find the hostages, kill enemies, and then rescue the hostages. It's very, very simple, and then sometimes you'll generally have to do 2 missions in each environment. And they'll change up like the time of day. And I will say that it is cool to, what you're seeing here, to be in a very, very dark environment, hit R3, and night vision comes on, and you're like, why can't more games just like so? Anytime a shovelware game comes out and it's like, wow, this actually has some good ideas in it, and it actually looks halfway decent when it's not in motion. It's like I tend to, I kind of hyperfixate on the things it does well sometimes, which is why I liked Truck Simulator VR so much when I shouldn't have. But yeah, it's a very, very basic game, and definitely not worth the $15. Especially if like you're susceptible to motion sickness, it just feels half broken. But this is just more shovelware to warn you about. I will say I found it interesting when I get to the 3rd level. It was like you're outside of this school, and you're like, damn, this looks pretty good. And then you walk in, and you're like, this looks pretty good. And then a few minutes in, I was like, wait a minute. I was heading up a stairwell going, I know where this stairwell leads. I've never played this game before, but I know where this stairwell leads. I'm going to get to the next floor, and there's going to be an area over here that leads nowhere, and there's going to be another set of stairs, and there's going to be a long hallway over here with 2 doors that don't open, and one that does, that opens up to a library. Why do I know this? It's the same map as Alvo. That's why. It's the exact same map as Alvo. And so I was like, so everybody got this from like the same Unity asset shop or something like that.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Wow. That's a bad look for Alvo that their level is in this game, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it actually looks better in this game. That's the funny part. There's so much more detail. And what you're seeing here is some of the levels require you to disarm a bomb. And so just randomly in the level somewhere, like you'll see these levels are pretty decently big, a lot to explore. You're running on a time limit, and you'll find a bomb. And if you didn't find the password to deactivate the bomb first, then you got to go and explore the rest of the environment to be like, where's the little piece of paper sitting somewhere with the 4-digit code on it to go and, dude, it's like half of this game is about luck. Because you just gotta happen to run into the disarm code before you find the bomb. It's a pain in the butt.
What's funny is I know what level you were talking about now after thinking about it for a second. I know exactly the staircase that you were in.
Yep.
When you discovered that you've been here before.
I think it's the map they introduced when they introduced zombies. I think it was
exactly right.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, so just a heads up, it's not worth it. Honestly, for a fun little platinum piece, throwaway title, like if it was $5 and they actually fixed the tracking and the frame rate issues, I'd be like, yeah, let's just get a platinum for $5. It's a stupid, little, very simple, straightforward game. But no, it's too broken. Nick in the chat says Alvo is shovelware. Confirmed. That's rough. That's really rough.
Drop another 10 Alvo keys in the chat again, right?
Yeah, right. And then real quick before we get to ranking some games, there is a new sale happening on the PlayStation Store. And there are some awesome games on sale currently, with the very first one that jumps out to me being Arcanage, which I hear sold big. Is going for 40% off. Dude, it's $24. This might be my... In a sale where Village is only $10, I still think Arcanage might be my game of the sale.
Yeah, it might be my game of the year, Brian. Every time I think about Arcanage, I think I need to go back and play it again, which is I've finished it, and there's so many other games I haven't finished. It's kind of odd that I want to go back and play Arcanage, but I do. It's that good. And, we've had a few months off from it, I guess probably close to a half a year now. So maybe it's time. But no, Arcanage is a must-own. It was a must-own before it was on sale. The fact that it's on sale right now is a huge bonus. And if there's anyone out there that doesn't have Arcanage yet, this is the time. Get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see Arcanage at the top of the sales charts next month. When the July sales charts gets released at the beginning of August, I hope the sale does it for people, because if you haven't bought it already, you definitely should have. Vitruvius is the kind of studio you want to support, and because I really do think that they are going to be, the studio that I thought Survios was going to become, or the studio that I thought Vertigo was going to become. Yeah, great studios in their own right, but they haven't really evolved rapidly over the course of the last decade, like a lot of other studios have, or like Vitruvius has specifically. Vitruvius just seems to be upping their game exponentially with every single release. So you got to love those guys. I'm interested to see. You say it might be your game of the year, but some of us have been playing Redacted on PSVR2, and that to me feels like it could be a game of the year. And then also Ghost Town is coming to PSVR2 later this year. Was Ghost Town? Were you as hyped about Ghost Town as other people were? Wes, did you get a chance to play that much on Quest 3 or Quest?
I haven't played it yet. I've got it. I am pretty hyped on it. I think Ghost Town has the potential to be kind of best in class, so to speak. Like if we're talking about these story-based puzzle games, I've always kind of held the Room VR as kind of the best of the best in that genre.
Yeah.
And I do expect that Ghost Town is going to take a step forward from that and be even a little bit better. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it. I just, I haven't played a lot of games lately, so yeah, I haven't played this one yet. But I've got the Steam version over here, and it's supposedly significantly better in terms of visuals than the Quest version. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I played the first hour or so just to talk about it on GamesCast on Quest 3, and I was very happy with what I played. You could tell it was, you could tell the pedigree of the studio. Like some of the characters and the effects reminded me big time of the Room VR, Dark Matter, and the puzzles were very the Room-like as well. But yeah, the new stuff, like, the full locomotion and the exploration, it's exactly what I was hoping to see. So if the PSVR2 version can keep pace with the PC version, hopefully using 90 native and DFR and all that stuff, we'll see how it pans out. But definitely could be at least a contender for game of the year. But I think what we're going to learn, Wes, real fast is that, especially when we rank these games that are coming out during the rest of the year, is that there's a lot of competition for that title. There's going to be a lot of competition for that title.
Yeah, for sure. Never mind.
Talk to
I
me.
was going to say something out. I was going to say something out loud, but I'm just going to say it in the Discord, because in case your answer is no, we shouldn't say it out loud.
Okay, we'll keep it secret. And if anybody's if anybody's really interested, let us know in the comments below this video if you want to see like me and Miles go through the whole sale on Friday. We can do that for you. But I just wanted to give a couple shout outs here. Like I said, Resident Evil Village is $10. It's 75% off. Village is one of the best VR games ever made, any platform. I'm sorry to anybody who disagrees, but you're wrong. Hellsweeper, that AJ and I praised ridiculously on Monday, is $14. That's the deluxe edition. It's 60% off. And then Seventh Guest is half price right now, $15, and along with Arcanage at $24. I mean, just pick up these games if you don't have them. Like, really, really great games for the price. It says you're still typing, Wes. What's happening over there?
Yeah, I'm not. I've stopped typing. It's a dumb question. I already figured out that the answer is obvious, so I'm not even going to ask you.
Was it about Redacted?
It was.
All right. Yeah.
I was going to ask you if we should make it obvious to them that Redacted is on the list, but that's obvious. It would be on the list, right? Like we're it's not like we're over here playing 2026 games.
Speak for yourself. I've played every game that's coming. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course, the game is on the list somewhere. Where it is, which one it is, that's up to you to decide. But just listen. Just know this: there are fucking amazing games on the way for PSVR 2, right? If anybody's feeling like a little bit downtrodden, a little not excited about VR recently, I've seen some of these comments recently, right? People commented on Without Parole, just not excited about any games that are coming out, and nothing really is grabbing me, nothing's exciting me. Bro, we got some fucking exciting games on the way. That's my real voice, by the way. This is the voice I speak in when I'm not on GamesCast. It's like, bro, we got some real exciting stuff on the way. I think I pulled that off.
In a world where games come 2 years after they release on other platforms.
Hey, this is the world that we live in. I like it. Bro, let's rate some games. I've got a comment pinned in the chat. If you guys want to play along, you can skip through games, and we're going to rate these things live. So Wes and I are basically going to have our own list going on. That it's just going to be him and I putting these things up there. But then we're going to be able to check in with you guys and see where you're putting all these games. What classification you've given them. So I'm going to switch over to our tier list here. So as Wes was alluding to earlier in the show, there are some games on here that shouldn't be on here, some games that aren't coming out in 2025. Like I said, I just took almost the entire list of games that we assumed were coming in 2025 and threw them on here. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that right now.
I have a question.
Talk to me.
We have the upper tiers, right? A, S, SS. How exclusive do we want SS to be? Because I feel like there's 2 or 3 games on here that kind of stand in their own tier, and then everything else is below those. But there are a lot of.
Just said it.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of games that I'm really, really excited for, but I don't expect them to have maybe the scope of some of the other games.
That's why there's an S and SS tier, right? Because I do think what you just described as being these games are above and beyond everything else. That's our SS tier. I don't expect there to be more than 2 games, maybe 3 in there. S is the stuff that we're wildly excited about. We think it's going to be great, but maybe not have the scope. A is yep, this is going to be real good. B, decent. C, 7 out of 10. Yeah. I think, I think there's still going to be quality titles in the C and D category. But that's why we had to have an F in there, just to be not excited. D is,
who's always excited to have an F in there?
I couldn't even begin to guess. There's just no way to know. So, all right. So did everybody click the link? Everybody click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat. Because again, you guys can actually select the game on the right hand side of the screen, or is it at the bottom of the screen? I don't even know at this point. Let me actually take a look and see what you guys are seeing. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, so it looks like at the bottom of the screen, you can select the game and then you can submit your vote. So I'll be keeping an eye on this and we'll switch over to it occasionally. Wow, there are 52 participants that are ranking things live right now, Wes.
Nice.
And it's already gotten 552 votes. Holy crap! Oh man, the number keeps going up. All right, cool. You guys are way ahead of us then. So let me let's get on board here, man. Let's start with Aces of Thunder. Aces of Thunder is getting into a genre of game that we don't really have barely any of on PSVR2. We've got Ultra Wings too, but it's kind of going for a more simulation thing, very realistic look to it. The question is, how exciting is it going to be? And I think the people who already went hands-on with it kind of tempered our expectations a little bit, or maybe tempered mine, and said it's going to be really good, but is it going to be great? I don't know. What do you think, Wes?
I think it's going to be very good. I think that this, I don't think it's SS tier. I think in terms of quality, it could make it to maybe S tier. Mm-hmm. I do want to kind of knock it down a peg just for genre, just out of personal taste. Interest is if you're a sim flying fan, this is probably SSSS for you. For me, I'm thinking that this is probably an A tier, maybe an S tier, because I do expect the quality level to be pretty good on this. I'm high on it, but I'm not super excited about it because of what it is, And there's going to be a few of these as we go through the list. Games I think will be really good games, but probably just don't appeal to me as much because of what they are.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, Wes. I'm agreeing with everything that you're saying. I think if it was meant to appeal to me more, it would have like this Wing Commander style thing going on, where it's like I touch down at my base, there'd be like other pet characters to talk to, and there'd be a like this ongoing narrative, and like there'd be something happening other than just mission after mission after mission. I want the single player campaign to feel robust, like there's this overarching narrative that's happening that's influencing why I'm going on these missions. And I don't, from what everything I've heard, Ace of Thunder doesn't have that, right? And so I think for me to be like crazy excited, I need to have that extra thing that I don't think this game's going to have. So, I feel like putting it in A because of our expectations or the things that we're looking for is fair. And we can always kind of move it up to S later on if we want to. None of this is permanent. All right.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah.
Here goes one down, 45 to go. And please let us know in the chat, you guys. Let me know. Oh, look at that. Barglesoft says it should be S or double S, but been waiting for it too long. I do think that definitely has contributed to a lot of fatigue when it comes to the excitement that we would have normally had for this. I do agree with them. Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys. We want to hear your thoughts on all of these. What was that?
Becoming the golem of the sky.
But Golem turned out to be fucking awesome. Just want to put that out there.
It did. With one major flaw that made it not so awesome, but it was in terms of production. The controls were terrible. But unless you had a nav controller, which I did, which made it much better.
Even then,
it's still like playing with one controller, right? Like you're a completely very right-handed beast that can sword fight with only one hand.
Dude, if Golem came to PSVR2, I think it would get a 9 out of 10 all over again. I honestly do. I think that would be, I would still love it. I'd probably love it even more because it wouldn't hurt my back to play. It would be great. And that's how this is going to be a 4-hour show, you guys. Next up is Already Dead. Remember Already Dead? This is the Resident Evil looking game. And when we say Resident Evil, we mean old school 90s Resident Evil. It's a third-person VR game. Looking kind of like a 90s Resident Evil game. The thing that excites me about this, Wes, is that when we were kind of questioning, is there going to be any first-person VR interactions? Is there any point of this being in VR? The developers responded to me directly after watching our show on it, and they said, don't worry, we're on the same boat as you. We want for it to be very interactive. We want there to be a reason to play this in VR. And this one should be coming soon, you guys. We should be getting an update on a release date, like literally anytime now. I'm kind of excited, Wes. This is my jam. I love retro survival horror.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it too, but I think 90% of that is just from personal taste. I don't expect this to be like a great game that everyone's going to be, wow, that's better than I thought. No, I expect it to be a very average game. But I'm the way we bumped Aces of Thunder down, I kind of want to bump this one up because I personally like indie horror games. Like it don't have to be great for me. Like I like playing Bad Dreams. Like I'm very fond of that game, but I understand that it's not good. I have very similar expectations for this. Like I think it's not going to be great, but I think I'll like it a lot.
Shit. AJ in the chat said, "Where's V-Racer Hoverbike?" Fucking crazy, dude. I knew there was going to be stuff missing from this list.
Go.
That's a big
That's
one, dude.
so hilarious too.
Yeah,
I didn't even get that because like before the show, I was going down the list here and looking at all of these Flat to VR and Impact Inc. games going, that's not coming this year. That's not coming this year. That's not coming this year. And the one thing that didn't occur to me is that V-Racer Hoverbike, which is coming this year, not on the list.
Yeah, this is so crazy. We will definitely talk about it though. And oh crap, dude, that bugs me. I wish I could edit this on the fly, but TierMaker doesn't let you do that, as far as I'm aware, which it really bums me out a little bit. All right, but anyway, so listen, I'm actually gonna put Already Dead. This is the same reason that Ace of Thunder kind of went down a notch based on personal preferences. Already Dead goes up a notch for me based on personal preferences. I think most people would put it at a C. I'd be willing to put it at a B just because I'm very excited to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, B.
Yeah. I mean, C is kind of where I think it should be, but again, it's a Resident Evil inspired horror game for VR, so it automatically gets a 1 up for that.
Uh, let's move right along to Dungeons and Dragons in Demeo, also known as Battlemarked. This is basically Demeo with a D&D skin. I don't think there's too much to say about it. My big concern would be how much different is it than Demeo, right? Like Demeo's already out, Demeo Battles is already out. Is this literally just going to have a D&D skin? Is there going to be a lot more to it? And as somebody who didn't grow up playing D&D, I'm not super excited, right? To have this game that I already love have a different look and maybe vibe to it.
I'm excited about it, not because I was a big D&D fan. I mean, I was a little bit, but not that I like playing like the game. Like I was kind of a fan of the franchise, the kind of peripheral story and world, but I never got into like, I never sat down at a table with a dungeon master and played D&D like a lot of people do. But I think Demeo is VR royalty. I think that this is one of the highest quality games in VR, and I expect this to be a full-on sequel to Demeo. I think it's going to be an advancement of what's already one of the best games in VR. So
Nice.
I'm really high on Battlemarked, actually, and it has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited that D&D is tied to this because I know it's going to bring in a new audience, right, to Demeo, which I think is great. I do expect it to be a little different than Demeo. I mean, obviously the core foundation is Demeo. It's going to play like Demeo, but I expect the way the levels are laid out and the way the story is told to be very different. And I'm really excited for it. This is like A or S tier for me.
I am seeing a lot of love for this in the chat, and you know what? I'm gonna put my biases aside, and it's again not because I'm not excited for it, but because I know that Demeo is so good that more Demeo is always better. Looper says hopefully some story finally. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I expect there to be story here. I think that's going to be the main difference in this versus regular Demeo. There will be other small procedural differences to the gameplay. I don't think the rule set's going to be exactly the same, but I think the biggest noticeable difference is the way that the story and the levels are made. I think this is going to be something closer to Table of Tales. I don't know if you remember Table of Tales. But it's a very Demeo-like game that's a single player, story-driven campaign. I think that this is going to be more like that. That's just an assumption. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I believe is going to happen here with this.
Let's move on to boxing Underdogs. Is that what it's called?
Where did you put Battlemarked at? You didn't say it out loud.
I put it at an S because of your excitement, because of the chat's excitement. I want the chat to have some say in this on the official list that we're making, even though they can vote with the link that's pinned in the chat, which I kind of want to stop over and see how that's going. Let's check real quick because I want to see how there's 95 people voting and they've already cast 1,300 votes. You guys are awesome. Keep it up, you guys. We're gonna check in with you with that in a second. But let's move along to the next one, which is Boxing Underdogs. I think I got the name right. This is the one coming to us from Monologic, the people behind the Ven VR adventure. And listen, we've got a lot of fighting games, and I feel like these guys are promising a lot, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to deliver. What are your current?
I have every faith that they're going to be able to deliver here.
Now,
full disclosure, like I'm pretty friendly with these guys, even though I haven't talked to them for a little while now. But I was talking to them about this game when it was just in the planning stages and they hadn't even started development on it. And I was, talking to them about, you got to make, because I am a combat sports fan. It's really the only sport that I follow at all anymore. or like boxing and MMA. So when they told me they were making at that time what was a bare knuckle boxing game, I was very excited, and I would go into like these detailed talks about, all right, you've got to be sure if you want it to be this realistic, you got to enable things like hand durability, and the certain fighters are going to have to cut easier than others, and like there's all of this really nuanced detail that we've never seen in a boxing game, be it flat or VR, and they were down with all of it. These guys know what they're talking about when it comes to fighting, and I expect this game to be great.
Uh, I think it goes without saying that I hate on VR Adventure, and that's the only reason I'm nervous about this game. I definitely don't like it nearly as much as anybody who says they like it. I don't like it nearly as much as them. Even people who say they like it a little bit, I don't like it as much as them. And I was very critical on Ben when it came to PSVR2. I stand by that, and that's the only reason. The only reason I'm nervous about this. So my excitement level for it, my hype puts it in a C, but I feel like you are definitely somewhere else with it. So give me give me a letter, and maybe we can compromise.
This is a tier for me. It's not quite S, but I think that this is a solid A tier game. I'm very confident that this is going to be good. I do worry a little bit about it being maybe too hard for some people. So people who aren't like combat sports fans that are getting into it more of a casual for like a casual exercise game, they might get in there and get their ass kicked. But I don't even know that. Maybe they'll have a good like difficulty like system going on in there, making it easy for others. But I do expect this to be a very detailed and realistic sim game. And really, I have two concerns. One concern is the difficulty. I think this is going to be a game for hardcores potentially, and not for casuals. The other concern I have with it is a concern I have for a lot of games, and that is that it's being developed for MetaQuest. So you don't know if that's going to be the baseline, or if they're going to, there's two approaches you can take to multi-platform development. You can develop for PC and PlayStation and then water it down for Quest, or you can develop for Quest and then try to like shine it up for the other platforms. And those games that are developed for Quest, they're typically not as good, right? Like you can get a good upgrade, right? But that's typically amounts to a reskin with some dynamic lighting, and those games typically don't turn out as well as the games that are developed for PC and console. So those are my concerns with it. The things that probably keep it from being S tier for me, but I think it's a solid A for sure.
Okay, let's know in the chat, you guys. I definitely want to. I'm kind of hoping to just average out my vote with Wes when it comes to things like this that we're a little divided on. But if you guys, if anyone in the chat thinks that this is like, S tier or just total crap F tier, like if there's a consensus in the chat, I'm willing to, I'm willing to, bend in those directions. But I think currently, if you're cool with compromising, Wes, if I was going to put it in C, you're going to put it in A. If we can put it in B for the time being, unless there's a massive outrage in the chat, I don't know if you're okay with that. Oh, I thought he was just thinking. He's frozen. Wait. Or am I frozen? Yeah, I think we're still going here. Still going here. Wes is. Here, let me check on Wes here. You're frozen. He's typing. Oh, I'm frozen, he's saying. That's not good. Here, let's see. Okay, yeah, but it looks like the. All right, looks like I'm still going. Sometimes you just have no idea. There he is.
Back now?
Yes. Okay. Yes. That was weird, huh?
Yeah, you froze on my screen and I froze on your screen, and my internet was working fine. Like the chat kept going, the show and everything's still working. So I thought maybe your computer had crashed, but I guess not. Hey,
Guess not. Guess not. Uh, who's it? Oh man, the chat's so funny. Uh, who the fuck said it? It was really good. Crap. Oh well. Okay. Well, we're back up and running. It's time to move along. Are you cool? Like I said, are you cool putting this in B to compromise my C position and your A position?
yeah. I'm not gonna fight for games that aren't out yet.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
That's for next week, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right, this brings us to CatTana, the game coming to us from the Stride developers. Except you're playing as a cat. Was it like Red Flowers or something? What's the subtitle of this?
Red
Something?
Flowers. That is, yeah, that was the original title of the game was Red Flowers.
Yep.
It was a pretty blatant Ghost Runner ripoff at first, and I say that with all like due respect. I'm not trying to demean the game. Ghost Runner is amazing. It's amazing in VR, and I totally get why somebody would try to bring that game into VR the way so many other studios have brought so many other games into VR unofficially. Um, I think that this what's it called, CatTana now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's going to be very fun. I think they pulled this nice little kitty aesthetic over it to try to appeal to different audiences and become one of these viral TikTok games like I Am
Yeah.
Cat and so many others before it.
Yep.
So I think the whole cat aesthetic and all of this stuff is kind of a minus for the game. I would like this to be more in line with like Ghost Runner in terms of vibe, but I do think it's going to be fun to play. So I'm actually pretty high on it. I don't know. I would say this is probably a B tier game for me. I am a little bit reserved in my excitement for it because it is Joyway, and Joyway's come close a number of times,
Right.
but they've never quite nailed it yet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think B is the place I would put this as well. I really think it's going to be great for streamers. If there's an actual, if it feels more like Stride than Stride Fates, which kind of looks like what it's going for in all the trailers that I've seen, I think it's gonna do pretty well. I'm totally comfortable with B on this one, and I think that, but I feel like this, when we get our hands on it, is when it's going to shoot up or down this list very quickly, right? I do not think that when we get our hands on it, it's going to be a B. It's either going to be awesome and almost S tier, or it's just going to be like, oh, here we go again. It's D, So that brings us to ColdVR, which somehow is still not out on PSVR2, but still planned for this year. Purpose said over on Twitter that they are planning. I think they said recently it's still coming soon, or something along that lines, or there's going to be an announcement soon, or something. I forget exactly what they said, but it's good that they haven't forgotten about the PSVR2 version. I somehow have still not played this on Steam. I still have not played this on Quest, and so I'm sort of leaning on you big time with this one, Wes. Should I be excited for ColdVR?
It's fun. It's a good game. I think it's a little unfortunate that it's become so synonymous with Super Hot because it's a very different game than Super Hot. Yeah, yes, it is the mirror inverse of the Super Hot game mechanic. But if these guys weren't Blue Crystals, I don't know that anyone would really talk so much about Super Hot, honestly. I've played probably 4 other games that are more relevant as a Super Hot clone than this one. But in terms of the game itself, it's a fun game. It's a good game. It's not great. There is some jank to it. I do kind of dig the story and the vibe they've got going on with it. I would class this as slightly above average. So what? I guess a B tier would probably be where I put it. Like it's good, not great. It does have some issues, but it's fun at times. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, that B is what I was thinking, having not played it, so I'm cool putting it there. Yeah. I've got to say, I wish I could fast forward a little bit because what that team or what that one person dev team over at Allware is doing next with what comes after looks infinitely more interesting than ColdVR. It looks like, I mean, he's making this episodic game that looks like it's in the Last of Us universe, and I can't wait to play that.
It's great.
Dreams of Another is next. Dreams of Another coming to us from Q Games, who's got a pretty awesome reputation for making interesting, unique titles. And we get a first-person view on PSVR2. It's exclusive. You do not get the first-person view on the flat screen, but it is a hybrid game, so you get to play however you want to, flat screen or VR. I don't like the look of this game. I got to be completely honest here. I don't like the look of it, like the visual style they're going for. I don't like the look of the character when you're in third-person mode. But I feel like Q Games has earned my trust over the years, and I like that they're doing something with the first-person shooter genre, saying there's no destruction without creation, or no creation without destruction. And so, because even though there's things about it that just rub me the wrong way, I'm inclined to be like, yeah, I am curious more than excited about this one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm a little scared here, Brian. Like I'm not the biggest fan of the art style either, but I do think that it's unique, and I do think that if the game technically is in order, I think that it's going to produce some really good looking visuals in the headset. Like I do think there's going to be some breathtaking moments in there. But with that said, I don't think this is going to be a first person shooter game. I think this is going to be more like a puzzle game where you're using your gun to destroy things and collect their components, and then going back to another place where you weren't able to advance before, and now use those components to kind of build the way forward and get through certain areas. I'm concerned that this is not going to be very fun to play. I think it'll likely be beautiful artistically, and I don't just mean visually, but I mean like in terms of the story that they're telling. They'll probably tell a very gripping story that hits you in the feels a little bit. But I think that the gameplay very well could be boring here with this one. So I'm not super high on this. I think if we put it in to C, that might be stretching it a bit for me. Like I'm not super excited for it. I'm going to try it out. I'm hopeful for it, but I don't think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I agree. The consensus in the chat seems to be that this is probably going to be better once you play it. Like you're going to be experiencing it and playing it in the headset and seeing how beautiful it's probably going to look in the headset, and finally coming to terms with what the gameplay loop actually is. But until then, I think C is the right place for at least us. I'm glad to see there's some excitement in the chat about it. But anytime I like talk about it and I talk about the things I'm excited for, I feel like I'm feigning enthusiasm. Like I don't even believe myself when the words are coming out of my mouth, right? Which is a really bad place to be. So yeah, for now it's going in C, but with the assumption that when we play it, it's probably going to be fucking awesome. I just don't see it yet. I don't see that happening. But moving along. What is next? We got. So should we even talk about some flat to VR games? Like Flatout is here. Should we just skip it? I don't think there's been any announcement.
Yeah, there's not really a lot to say. It's not coming this year. It is coming. I will say that internally, there's more clarity now about what this game's going to be. Obviously, I can't talk about that yet, but
Sure.
It is not coming this year, so I don't really think there's a lot to talk about here.
All right. I don't think we should rate it. I think we should.
I mean, with this being a racing game, I guess we could kind of slot in V-Racer Hoverbike here, which is coming this year.
Okay, yeah, let's use Flatout. Perfect. That's a good idea. We'll use the Flatout tile as V-Racer Hoverbike. Cool. I like that, man. I was wondering how we were going to do that. I think you just solved it. I'm extremely excited about V-Racer Hoverbike, and I'm really sad that I didn't put it on the fucking list because of all the things to forget or leave out, like that's the one I definitely did not want to. Yeah, listen, a lot of excitement about that game. Everybody who's playing it on other platforms is loving it. The little I played on Quest, I thought was really great, and I can't wait for it. uh, being a racing game, in a combat racing game especially, makes me very excited for it. I think I'm around the S tier for this one, to be honest.
I think that's fair. And in full disclosure, this title has been released from the company that I work for. This is one of the titles that I'm in charge of. Like, this is one of my clients. Like, I'm the primary point of contact for Vertex Breakers. Like, this was my launch that just went off a few weeks ago, and it went as better than we ever could have hoped. Like, everyone universally is calling this the best racing game on Quest.
Nice.
And, you know, objectively speaking, I think that that's fair. This is a game that's been on Steam for over 7 years now, in early access until it just recently came out of early access. So it's content complete, it's polished. There's tons of little features in it that you typically don't get out of a game that's launching on a platform. It's incredible, and these guys are still developing it. There are still features that are coming to it that are in the works, and that's not even to say the fact that this game is going to be developed for PSVR2. It's going to have PSVR2 specific features for the platform. I think S tier is probably objectively where the game belongs. It's great.
Awesome. All right. So if anybody's able to go back, I think you can change your vote. So if you're able to go back and use the Flatout tile as we are for V Rider SBK, V Racer hoverbike, not V Rider.
V Racer, not V Rider. We are not V Rider.
My God, dude. Although that game's getting a patch tomorrow.
All the time. Yeah. It happens all the time. It happens at work. People at work will call it V Rider, because we worked with V Rider before, right? Like we're all very familiar.
Yep. Oh, the V Rider SBK is getting a patch tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be a game that we're all excited about again. But V Racer hoverbike is, remember, that's what this is. This tile right here, flat out. Got it. All right. That moves us on to Ghost Town. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. I just everything I played on Quest, I absolutely loved. Obviously, it looked a little bit questy. I mean, really, don't get me wrong, really good questy, right? Wanting to see this game with true blacks from the OLED panel, and maybe a higher resolution with a little bit better texture quality, which it sounds like the PC is actually handling pretty well. And so if we get the PC VR version over on PSVR 2, I think I'm gonna be real happy. And this the single player narrative driven puzzle adventure game that I really want to play. This is really high up there for me.
Yeah, heavily narrative driven and spooky. And for those that are interested out there, Upload VR did a side-by-side visuals video where they play the same scene on Quest and on PC. And you're right, it's a great looking game on Quest, but it is notably better on PC. There's a definite resolution bump in peripheral things, wallpaper, floor tiles, things like that. They're all very a lot sharper in terms of the detail on them. And then obviously the other big thing that typically happens with these sort of games is they get dynamic lighting and shadows that is also present, and that always makes a huge impact on VR games. Having that volumetric lighting really adds to the immersive value of even like the cartooniest games. So yeah, I hold this very highly. I expect this to be like A tier, S tier. Like this is, again, I kind of like Demeo. I expect this to be best in class, like the best in the genre, when we play it and when it comes to PSVR 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be there's always gonna be assumptions that we make here when we do this. Like I've got a pretty good feel for the game on Quest, but like I'm just like, okay, but I've got to visualize this game playing on a PSVR 2 headset with maybe adaptive trigger support, with maybe headset rumble, who knows. I'm super excited for this. I think this has potential for game of the year, along with like maybe like 1, 2, maybe 3 other games. And so I'm willing to put this up to S if you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think cool. It's certainly deserving.
Great and Valor's up next. Great and Valor's another hybrid game, guys. And I got to tell you, after playing Iron Guard and loving Iron Guard in VR, dude, like, if Great and Valor offers the same type of gameplay that Iron Guard did, but with even deeper mechanics, even deeper gameplay, I feel like it's going to be a game that will rope me in once I start playing it. But unfortunately, like every game in this genre or similar to it, watching the trailer is just not going to do it. You know, it's like until you get hooked by the gameplay loop, it's hard to be excited. And I think that's where I am right now. I think this screams B tier to me all the way. But I feel like once I get in there and start playing it, I'm gonna fucking love it. But I can't lie, I'm just not super excited at the moment.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I don't. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fun to play. Like I'm sure it'll be fine. Not my genre at all. Um, you know, I always do enjoy these types of games when we go into VR and play them, but I never go back to them. Not one time. There's not a single instance where I go back. So, yeah, I think B is the top of where I would put it. Now, with that said, I expect the like production value and the quality of the game to be quite good. So that's kind of what brings it up to a B for me. Is like I do expect it to be a quality title and a quality experience. It's just I'm not excited for it because I don't really get into these type of games.
Well, then I think we could just easily put this one at a B without too much conversation and move along to obviously game of the year here, Hide the Corpse. Can you kick this one off?
Care.
Don't care at all?
Don't care. Couldn't care less about this. Like, this is just game just seems like a gimmick. I'm sure it's worth a few giggles. The only way I'll ever play this is if I get up one Wednesday morning and say, do I need to play something today, Brian? And you say, yes, we're going to talk about Hide the Corpse. Yeah.
Unfortunately, so frequently it is you. Because games tend to come out on a Tuesday or early Wednesday,
Yep.
and so yeah, you do get the brunt of all of this. I don't think this is going to be awful. I think this is streamer bait for sure, right? Like people are going to make this game look like a lot of fun. They're going to have a lot of laughs trying to hide these bodies in weird positions. But I think that's what it is. I think that's where the fun comes from this. And so me playing it on my own and then playing it for review, I don't expect myself to be having a ton of fun with it. So for me, it's D. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's not. I just have no interest in it.
Yeah, I guess D's fine. Like if you put it in F, I would be fine with that too. I guess F should be reserved for like shovelware and stuff like that. So I guess it's not quite on that level. So D, I guess D's a good place for
it. World of Long Play says Hitman is basically Hide the Corpse but done better, which is right. There are games that do this, and it's just part of the overarching gameplay experience. It's not the gameplay experience, but I get it.
Yeah, I guess you could probably play this game in Hitman if you wanted to. Like you could go into a Hitman level and like go pick a level where there's a lot of cops. Go into like public and pull your gun out, fire it into the air, and then go try to hide a dead body really quickly before they catch you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Clearly the first double S tier game on the list. I Am Cat. God only knows when this game's actually coming out, but this is something that's been... Anytime I talk to the developers, they're like, oh, we're nearing completion. They are edging the fuck out of me, Wes. I don't know when I Am Cat's coming out, but it looks... I mean, listen, if you've seen an actual... it's probably easy to shit on I Am Cat, but if you've seen any trailers for it, it looks like there's so much to do and experimenting in the world as a cat and knocking shit over and fucking with people. It all looks like it's part of the fun, and it looks like it's finally delivering on the promise that cat lateral damage made to us in 2016 on PlayStation VR 1, right? But like cat lateral damage ended up being the VR mode was just like teleportation central, and like it wasn't the full game, and you didn't get to do all the cool fun stuff as a cat that you could in the flat screen version. So for me, like, I know people are going to think I'm joking, but this is actually A tier for me because I'm just so excited to do goofy shit and run around as a cat. I know you think I'm lying. I think I'm fading.
Oh, I don't. I believe you. I don't think you're lying about it. This is one of those rare cases where we're very different when it comes to these games. Um, Much like the last game, I think this game is a gimmick. Now, maybe not quite to the extent of Hide the Corpse,
Yeah,
because this does seem to be like a complete sandbox, right? Like it's there's going to be a lot more to do in this game than there is in Hide the Corpse, which I think Hide the Corpse is going to be very repetitive and get boring quick. Like there's going to be a lot of different things to do in this, but it is a gimmick. It is a sandbox, and I don't like sandbox games at all. The only sandbox I've ever had fun playing is Hitman 3, which is a lot more than a sandbox, but you can play it like a sandbox.
right.
And yeah, so like this is C tier, I would think for me. Like I know a lot of people are going. It's another one of those TikTok uh, dream machines where you're going to be able to make 1,030-second videos out of this if you want to, and probably build a whole channel off of it. But in terms of like what I'm looking forward to playing for fun, like this ain't it for me.
Yeah.
So
Um, you remember Baby Hands?
yes,
I had more fun with Baby Hands than I was supposed to. Like I was like, this is why am I enjoying this? Crawling around as a baby, like being like, oh, can I play this video game system that's laying here? Oh yes, I can. Holy crap, I can play games on the screen. Like just being like every object that I can pick up is like interactable. Like and I feel like I Am Cat is the evolved, more polished, more interesting, more fun, better locomotion system game. Like the evolution of Baby Hands, right? So yes, very sandboxy, but I also think it's going to be like just silly fun. And sometimes, dude, sometimes I just need a game to deliver on something that's just going to make me smile, right? Not everything needs to be horror, although I prefer if it was, and not everything needs to be a first-person shooter. I every so often I just need these breaks from serious VR and play something that's designed to be silly and fun, and let me live out my dream of being a cat. I said A, you said C at best. Maybe we throw it in B just to compromise.
sure.
All right.
Everything's
it,
going to be B, right?
it, it's
Like we
it's
can see,
it's
there's a trend developing.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't think we've gotten to the best games yet. Although I guess if there's any more big disagreements, the average will generally be B. But that's fine. But I think that's realistic too, right? I think so many people get so excited for certain games and they end up just being good, not great, right? And then people are like, "Oh, that game's going to be trash." It ends up being good, but not bad, right? And I think most games tend to fall in that kind of 7 to 8 range, and I think that's what people need to start expecting more of. It's like not every game's going to be a 9 or a 10. Like this is just not realistic. Anyway. What Into Black is next. I've never played Into Black, but this is 4-player exploration shooter, right? You're literally in caves with friends, trying to rebuild the engine of a spaceship, or what is it? Do you know?
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what's going on here in a general basis. This is story driven. It's a story driven kind of exploration game, but there's combat. I mean, it's a shooter when it comes to combat, but you have to collect a lot of resources for crafting and upgrading, mostly upgrading. Like you're you're unlocking weapons, you're unlocking abilities and upgrades to the weapons. That's so much of what you're doing is upgrading your weapons and equipment. There's a lot of mining involved, where you're collecting like copper and titanium and all of these different elements. But at the same time, there's like alien creatures attacking you that you have to defend from. Um, the levels are big, gigantic, sprawling levels, and it's story driven, and you can play it single player. You can play it with up to 3 friends, like 4-player co-op. I've played through the game twice now on Quest and loved it both times. Of course, with friends every time. But this is a great, great game. Now, it's not going to be like a AAA production, right? This was a game that was
Right.
developed for MetaQuest, And while they are upgrading it for PlayStation VR2, and I would assume probably Steam as well, um, we talked about that earlier about games that are developed for Quest that are kind of polished up for other platforms. So, like fun factor, this is S tier, but like production factor, maybe not so much. Scope wise, it's actually pretty good. I think it took us like 10 to 12 hours to play through the
Oh,
campaign.
dude,
And
sign me up.
beyond that, there's like I don't remember if it's daily or weekly, but they're like challenges in game. Like there's stuff to do other than the campaign. You can replay the levels and try to collect certain elements or certain items, and then they give you bonus stuff if you manage to do it. There's just a ton of content here, and the fun factor is off the charts.
Uh, the thing that really gets me is like everyone said what a great game this is, and you know, hearing you talk about even like the amount of time you spent in it, and the fact that you played it twice, getting you to finish a game is like out of control, right? And then the fact that you didn't only finish it, but you played it through it twice is awesome. But the
Well,
binary mill has shown that they are amazing, amazing with PSVR2 ports. Resist couldn't have looked any better. I really don't think. I mean, unless they had gone and like made the cars and people at street level look great. Just 90 frames native on the PlayStation 5, 120 frames native on the PS5 Pro. I mean, like it just looked great. It felt great. And they did the same thing with Gun Club. It's phenomenal. So I think this is going to be an amazing, amazing port. There's an entire blog post about it on the PlayStation blog. Between how much fun it's going to be, the scope, and how great I think the port's going to be, this goes an S for me.
yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't class it anywhere near like a AAA game, but I mean, this is just good.
Yep.
It's good game making from a good studio. So like the only real strike that you could put on the game is that it's not like super realistic graphically, but it's still a beautiful game. I
Yeah.
mean, most of the game takes place in like caves and stuff. It's really going to work well with the OLED. But it's just a ton of fun to play. The movement in it is fun. Like just getting from A to B is fun in this game. So yeah, I think putting it in S is a good spot for it.
Excellent. 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 But I wonder what we're reserving double S for. Well, I guess we'll find out. No idea. But are we reserving double S for Kid Pilot? Which like it's got a new name or something, right? Volare or something like that. Are you familiar with this name change it got?
I think you might have mentioned it to me before,
Uh,
but no, not really. I mean, I'm familiar with the game. I know what it is. I think for what it's worth, um, I think it's a cool idea, and it's probably going to be a little bit fun to play. Um, yeah, but with that said, like this is this is pretty much like indie game, like small scope. I would expect just something that's fun for a while type thing. So like, I don't think it should go super high on the list. But I do think it's going to be like fun. I think it'll be an average game.
yeah. Yeah. I think I've said it before. I know I've said it before that the music in this trailer that's playing right now, it just puts me into this place where I think it's just going to be so cool to relax and chill and experience like just flying through these worlds and doing the simple maneuver of pretending you're a kid. This delivers on the like when you grow up you lose part of your imagination. When you're a kid, anything can be fun and anything can be you easily transported into different worlds. And if you're holding a little toy plane as a kid and you're zooming around and doing this, like I think it's easy to put yourself someplace else. Like you are actually flying that little plane through, alien worlds or jungles or whatever it might be. And, recapturing that imagination via VR, I think is going to be really cool. And so for me, it's B. And but I get it. I think that I'm giving this game a little bit too much credit. And my guess is that C is probably where it belongs.
Yeah, I think C is probably the spot for it. When I look at the other games in B, like the boxing game and like Red Flowers and ColdVR, even Grit and Valor. I don't expect this game to be on that level.
Right.
Um, I do expect it to be a little better than I Am Cat and probably Already Dead, probably better than those games. But for the most part, the B tier is above where I would expect Kid Pilot to fall. So yeah, I think C's probably where it needs to go.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, and this is a very unscientific scale that we're using. It's like it's essentially our excitement for the game, which is like, what is that? How can you measure that? We're trying to, but I don't think it doesn't really make much sense. Let's measure our excitement for games that are coming out. I don't know. Very unlikely game coming up next. A game that I think was promised to us, I think in 2023. I got to remember that I keep forgetting. There's a trailer of Lo-Fi, the game we're talking about next, that says coming when it's ready, 2023. I swear that's what it says in the trailer. It's 2025 and it's still not out, and I don't have a lot of hope that it's coming out to PSVR2 by the end of the year. But let's rate it anyway, Wes, because it's not like it's not going to come out. Although some people, I'm sure, think it's not. How?
Yeah,
Where are you at with this currently?
yeah. I'm not. I didn't catch the latest update from Blair, so I don't. I'm not sure what he said about it, but yeah, I'm with you. I don't expect this game to drop this year. When he said it'll come when it's ready, then I believe him. That guy, if anything, is honest. So like,
Yeah.
he's not going to drop it before it's ready, and he's working on it by himself right now. So yeah, it could be a little while still.
The update, Wes, just to help you out, was about the team that he's working with now and how that like they've actually kind of divided their focus a little bit. They talked about other games that they're developing and how he's like the creative lead on some of this stuff. And so he does have help. It sounds like finally, but along with help, he's also his focus has been split to other projects as well. So I do
Oh,
see
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
That's
So I do see
smart.
it happening. Yeah, maybe.
So he's done what we call a service swap. Essentially, is he's agreed to go in and work on some other stuff for someone else in his area of expertise, and then in return for that, they'll come back now and help him with his project. Essentially,
It's good. I mean, I like that he found a way to make it happen. But announcing 3 more games before you've gotten the game out that everyone wants it's a little hard to swallow, right? I just from a consumer standpoint, you're like, yeah, but just fucking get that game out and then tell us about the other games. Like, don't waste your time. But I still put this in A. I have like you said, I have a lot of faith in him. The world had already been created years ago. You could actually go in. I think with you could get it on itch.io, and there's already this fucking very very cool world to exist in. So it really comes down to like, what is the gameplay going to be like? What are you actually going to be able to do? What is there a gameplay loop, or is it going to feel a little too open ended and you just do whatever?
that's definitely what's going to happen here. This, in terms of like production quality, is going to be S tier. It's going to be absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
In terms of like looks and sound. And there's going to be a ton of stuff to do. It's going to be a living world, or it's going to feel alive anyway, with lots of NPCs walking around that you can have conversations with. But it's very much going to be a sandbox, right? It's going to be a world where you can go do a bunch of things. And there's going to, again, there'll be lots of stuff to do in it, but it's not going to be like his other game, Technolust, which was
Right.
a story-driven campaign that you played through, but rather it's going to be in a very similar world to Technolust, but open. It'll be open, and you're going to just be able to exist in it, which I think is a great concept if the game would just support co-op. If you let like 3 or 4 people get into this world and hang out and do all this stuff, sky's the limit for a game like this. But it being single player, sandbox, it's definitely holding itself back in that respect.
Um, just looking at the chat here. Distracted says Lo-Fi is the undead citadel now that Undead Citadel is actually here. Nihilus Ryan says, we have to remember that both Golem and Undead Citadel were teased years before they came out, and both ended up great. It's true. It's true. I think when you get too deep into the culture, right, and you become invested in the ecosystem and surround yourself with fucking morons like us that talk about this shit 24/7, right? It's like it's easy to get exhausted and being like, God, didn't this game get announced 6 years ago? I'm so tired of hearing about it. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but like it doesn't change the fact that the game when it comes out is ultimately great. And so I'm putting this at an A to temper my expectations, but I'm really, really hoping that this is double S tier when it finally gets here.
Man, I just wish you would remake Technolust. The story in that game is so cool, but like the game itself is very dated. Like it's very much 2016 VR. But the world, the vibe, the story, all top notch. If he would just remake that game, I think it would be a hit.
Well, maybe. I mean, listen. If you get lo-fi up and running on PSVR2, like to the point where you can put it out, and then you can use that world, you can use that engine, you can use those assets to make Technolust.
Well, he's already. Yeah, well, I mean, he's already like some of the locations in lo-fi are from Technolust, so
right.
Yeah.
So you could reverse engineer and then bring us Technolust after you bring us lo-fi. So who knows, man? Maybe anything's a possibility. Let's get lo-fi first, though, and then we'll badger him about the other one. Yeah. Cool. Are we cool with A then? Just to kind of temper our expectations.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
All right. If we keep up this pace, we're going to be here all night, which is fine. I love you guys. Lumines Arise. We finally found our first double S tier game. I love Lumines. I love Tetris Effect. The Lumines and Tetris Effect had a baby, and it's called Lumines Arise. This game is fucking everything to me. Like, I'm so excited for Lumines Arise. I just want to spend 10 hours straight on my couch in VR on mushrooms playing Lumines Arise, Wes. You know what? Like, honestly, I was joking, but I think double S is where I'm at, to be honest with you.
Wow, really? Okay. I have no opinion on this game. I never played Lumines. I don't have a great knowledge of it.
Okay.
I have some excitement because of the studio that's bringing it, and I do like trippy stuff in VR, and I guess this is a little bit trippy, but like I have no opinion on where this should be at all. Like I expect, in terms of polish, I expect it to be, up there. But in terms of like gameplay and what it's going to be like to play in VR, I don't even have the first clue. So I'm just going to defer to you on this one. Like I don't know where to put it.
Whoa. Oh man, I feel like I thought you were going to give me like an A or a B rating, and then like we could average it out and fall somewhere that's a little bit more comfortable for everybody. I don't know, man. Maybe listen, I want to bring it down. I don't want my personal excitement for this to totally dominate this chart. And so I feel like this goes right next to Aces and Lo-Fi, and we put it in A. Unless everybody in the chat's like, no, Brian, push it up a couple notches. And if you do, if enough of you out there say no, it needs to be an S or double S, I'm paying attention. Bitmappy says, how do you pronounce luminous? It's luminous. It's luminous. If you literally start the game, it goes luminous. Like it says it out loud. There's no confusion. I promise you.
Better than Tetris, says Darth. Well, those are big words. I love Tetris Effect.
So here's the funny thing, Wes. Whereas Tetris Effect melded, the visual effects and the music with the old school Tetris formula for the first time, Luminous already had that. Right from the word go, it was all about the backgrounds in the pieces changing shape, and the music changing radically. Even the interaction sounds, like when you slide the piece left or right, or you drop it down, all of that changed from level to level. So it was all about the audio-visual experience from the word go. And then Tetris added that later for Tetris Effect. So the fact that this already began as Tetris Effect years before Tetris Effect ever became a thing. It gives me a lot of hope. I feel like they're gonna take the Tetris Effect thing and go even further with it. I feel like the backgrounds and the psychedelic stuff is gonna be just even crazier. So that's my hope. That's Tetris Effects times 10. Love
It
it.
looks like the chat agrees with you. There's a lot of S's I'm seeing in the chat here.
Do I move it up to S? Ooh, you've given me too much freedom here, Wes. Somebody's got to reel me back in.
No, I
Okay.
think that's fair. I mean, if you guys are saying that it's likely going to be better than Tetris Effect, Tetris Effect was great, and I think it's funny, man, when you think back to how Tetris Effect was received when it was announced. Like everyone loves Tetris Effect now, right? And it realizes how awesome it was. But at the time they announced it during that state of play, people wanted so much more.
Oh my
People's
God.
expectations were so high that literally people wanted to riot when they saw that Tetris Effect was the big announcement. Like, God, what the hell is this? Tetris? Are you serious? Um, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, what's the point? What's the point of Tetris in VR? I think I even said that, right? And
Yeah.
And listen, I thought it was great on PSVR1. I really did. I was like, this is awesome. I didn't realize how great of an experience this was going to be. But on PSVR2, with the sharper visuals and like just the better everything, like it is, and the better haptics from the controllers, I feel like I need to re-review Tetris Effect on PSVR2 along with Res, because both of those games need to get so much more love on the new hardware.
Love both of them.
I'm excited for you, Wes. This is going to be your first Luminous experience. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Starting to get a little excited myself.
Ooh. Well, let me bring down the excitement a little bit, because the next game we're going to talk about is called the Obsessive Shadow. I played a demo of this on Quest. It is definitely, you can tell that the developer is Five Nights at Freddy's inspired. Definitely about, trying not to get caught in the house by the monster and trying to do objectives very quickly before you're caught. And it's like every time it's like, how much further into it can I get without screwing up? And so you start learning rules. When the monster's looking at you, you can't look at it. That kind of stuff. It's like you learn multiple rules as you go, and you try to survive as long as you possibly can. I love horror, Wes. I don't know if you're aware of that. And that's what's keeping me excited about this, along with the developer who is keeping me in the loop, saying we're taking advantage of PSVR2 fully, the black blacks and all of that. So he's even the developer said it's so much scarier on PSVR2 than it is on other platforms because of that. So that makes me excited, even though, even as horror fans, we should temper our expectations. This is a small game.
Yeah. I'm actually not super excited for this one. I mean, not that I too love horror games, so obviously I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. But the kind of game you're describing here just typically isn't my kind of game, like where you're just, replaying the same thing over and over again, trying to get a little bit further and a little bit further. When I say I love horror games, I typically mean that either I like a good story-driven horror campaign to play through, or I like some sort of action game where I'm killing a bunch of monsters and stuff. This Five Nights at Freddy's style game is not what I love. Because it's horror, maybe I'll bump it up a little bit, but I don't have any real high expectation for it. Like this probably would be a D for me. So like the fact that it's horror, I might bump it up to a C. But I don't hold this very highly on my expectation list.
Yeah. Also, worth noting that developers are already making Chapter 2 of this, and that's also planned for PSVR 2. This trailer is not doing it any favors. It is so dark that I don't think anybody's going to get excited about this game based on the trailers. But if you have a Quest, check out the demo and let us know. But by the way, Chapter 2 does look like it takes the formula and blows it up. Looks like it's going to be great. So I mean, I'm fine with C because we both really enjoy our horror games, and we're going to be showing our biases because it could very well fall into D for me, but because it's horror, I feel like C is okay. That brings us to Of Lies in Rain. This is coming from Castello, unless it's a Spanish studio, which then would be Castillo, I believe. And this has been billed as the indie Half-Life Alyx. I don't think the game's not out on any platform. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wes, but there is a demo out on Quest, and everyone who's played it has come away very impressed. I have not played the demo in Quest. How excited about this game should I be? I'm assuming you played the Quest demo.
I played the Steam demo.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a Steam demo.
Yeah, no, I
Tell
played
me
the
all
Steam
about it.
demo. It's fucking awesome, dude. They're absolutely killing it with this. In terms of quality, like because this is a small team. They may have grown by now, but I'm pretty sure that for their last game, which is a game called Arcanade, um,
Hmm.
there was two guys I think working at that studio, and it was a very stylized retro retro arcade style shooter game. The original, their original title. This is very, very different from that. It's like leagues into the future from what their original game was. So like a bit of a surprise that they've upgraded so much. It's literally like the jump from Mervils to Shadow Legend. It's like that kind of jump between these two games.
Okay.
But yeah, they're killing it. The demo is awesome. It does remind you a lot of like a Half-Life game, but at the same time, it does some of its own things as well, with the portal jumping and the different realms and things like that. So yeah, I'm super excited on this. Like, it's obviously not going to be the top of the top, because it is from coming from a smaller team. I imagine the scope is going to be pretty limited with it. Like that maybe we'll get a 6-hour campaign out of it, is what I'm expecting.
Hold on. So how long was the demo?
An hour.
Okay.
45 minutes, an hour or something like that.
So you saw a pretty good chunk of what you're expecting to be the full campaign, like maybe 15-20%.
Yeah, if that demo is even in the game. I'm not even sure that part's in the game. Like sometimes these demos are standalone things. I'm not sure if that's the case here or not. But I mean, I'd love to be wrong here. I'm not basing my my estimation on anything they've said or done. I know it's a small studio, and I really don't see them coming with like a 15-hour story campaign here. Like, just in terms of like, I would think it would take much longer for them to make something like that. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a dozen hours or more. I hope so, because the quality of it is top notch.
If it's a dozen hours based on everything you're telling me and everything I've heard, then damn, dude. Like, yeah, we're definitely top. We're talking top tier. Colin Loves in the chat says, "Are these the good devs that are putting in all the visual options?" Yeah, if you've been paying close attention to either this channel or Twitter, Costello has been saying on Twitter, here's what we're planning for PSVR2. We talked to Vitruvius, which is always a good idea in order to get your game looking as good as possible. And they're talking about having it run, super sampled with DFR on PSVR2 using the base PS5, and then super sampling that even further on PS5 Pro, giving us the option on both consoles for fidelity or performance mode. So it sounds like they're going above and beyond to make everybody happy on PlayStation VR2. And I think that takes a game that was already something I was excited for, Wes, and boosts it pretty fucking high on this list, right? Knowing that they are taking care to make sure we get an awesome version of their game. Minimum S tier for me.
Yeah, I think S is a good spot for it. It's literally that good. It's beautiful, it's fun, it tells a story, and it's unique in some ways. So yeah, I'm with you.
Excellent. Well, we've made a decision. Real quick, I want to check in with the tips. Comic Book Guy was here a while ago with the 1 quid. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the level 1 membership says, change Aces to S, a game that will get me to play multiplayer. I do feel like at the end of this, we're going to have to look at the list and go, some of this makes sense and some of it doesn't. I feel like we dropped our hype on Aces a little bit more than it should be. And And the fact I don't know what we're reserving the double S tier for, but maybe we'll find out as we keep doing this.
Yeah, you'll figure that out in a minute. But I will point out that Aces is it right in line with Luminous, which you're over the fucking moon about. So like, it's
True.
not like A tier's bad. Like A tier's a great game, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I put Luminous. I held back Luminous because I introduced that game saying double S tier, but I held back. I'm trying not to be too emotional here. You know, I wouldn't want anyone to think, Bryan, he's so emotional. Jesus Christ, the number of things that went through my head that I could have said, and then decided to say, Bryan, you're so emotional. Jesus, what are we doing? All right, next up is Omega Pilot. What's up?
No, I was just going to continue on with what we were talking about. You know, Aces of Thunder, I think we can all agree everyone's overhyped on. So I think people trying to push it up the list is just those old overhype tendencies trying to work their way back into what should be very logical. But that's just my opinion.
Yep. Well, listen. I think we can move some stuff around as we go. If anybody else, like, listen, use your super chats, or just type in capital letters in the chat, like if you really feel that something got screwed, and you know, we'll take your thoughts into account here. Unless you say that I Am Cat needs to be a C, Dr. Death. How dare you? JK. Omega Pilot Evolution. Listen, we haven't actually seen any video of Omega Pilot Evolution, and it's supposed to be coming in November. That bothers me a little bit, right? Like, especially since it's going to be kind of going head to head with V-Racer Hoverbike, and V-Racer Hoverbike, I mean, is the one we're more excited about right now because we've actually played that game. We know the extent of what we're going to get when it comes to PSVR2. The developers have been pretty transparent about talking about, you know, taking advantage of PSVR2's features. Wes has been transparent about the developers taking advantage of PSVR2's features. But Omega Pilot Evolution is sort of like this, I don't know. It's kind of like an enigma. Like, we know it's coming. We know it's going to be an evolution of Omega Pilot, which is already out on other platforms. But we don't know that much about it. And so it's like, how do we get fucking excited about this game when we're already excited for V-Racer Hoverbike, which we know is going to be awesome?
Got one racing game on PlayStation from this developer, and it's very average.
Exocars.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, Exocars. I mean, do you think they learned their lesson from Exocars, or do you think it's gonna be Exocars all over again?
Exocars is their third or fourth racing title. So, what do you think? You think they're good at learning lessons?
Damn. Yeah, and I guess we should also point out that Zocus, these developers, are also made Presentiment of Death, which, listen, they delivered on PSVR 2. They gave us a very good port of it. Immediately followed it up with a patch that gave us more haptics, better haptics, and an actual way to turn in VR with the analog stick, which it didn't include at launch. So they listened and immediately fixed a few things. But like, it was so low on content. You could see the whole game in 40 minutes. So, you know, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And let me be clear. I don't want to shit too much on Exocars. Exocars is fun.
Getting funner by the day.
It's just, yeah, and it is improving. I actually like the variety, the track variety in Exocars, and for the most part, like the racing is fun. Like the actual racing is fun. I think that they completely shit the bed when it comes to progression in the game. There's I want to say literally no progression. I mean, there is. It got tacked on, and it feels like it's tacked on.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel much of an upgrade as you were upgrading. I don't know if you upgrade anything actually, or if you're just adding more statistics to your statistic thing. But I mean, it was fun to play. So like, I consider Exocars and Presentiment of Death very average games. Yeah. And until they show otherwise, I would expect Omega Pilot Evolution to be a very average game.
So I somewhat disagree with your statement about Exocars, just in the upgrade system. Because I is when it started feeling like a good racing game, right? When I was like, oh, this has better traction and better speed and better everything.
Okay.
Wait, why are we both frozen? What is happening? Are you here with me, Wes?
You're not frozen to me. I
Oh,
still see you and hear you.
okay, good. On stream, we were both frozen. I was just about to head back over to Discord and see what's up. Okay, well, I think
Thought
we're
we
back.
were maybe having some more weirdness like we had a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Discord weirdness.
I guess Discord is being funky today. I think that's where our problems are lying. Uh, so anyway, yeah. So I do think that once you upgraded your vehicle in Exocars all the way, or pretty close to all the way, that's when it started feeling like a good racing game. And so it feels like when they added the progression system, they took stuff away, right? Like initially, like your car was decked out and it felt great to race, but like they made it not fun to race until you managed to upgrade it. So yeah, I hope they manage to find a way to not have it feel that way with a Mega Pilot. I hope it's fast and furious and fun and crazy from the word go, and then it just gets boom bonkers, more intense from that point on. So I have hope, but because of the studio, and again, no offense, I think that it might come out and then and be mid, and then get better based on consumer feedback. But my hype level is probably a C or a D right now because of everything we just said.
Yeah, I'm not super. I mean, I like these types of games. Like this is the type of racer I enjoy, so I have a little hype for that. But again, I hope they continue to develop and evolve as a studio, and if so, then this could end up surprising. It's hard for me to um, put too much hype on it right now. I am optimistic though that maybe they improve and this is their best title yet, and turns out to be really good.
Yeah. Also, for everyone in the chat, somebody was talking about wheel support in Exocars. Yep, it just got support for Logitech wheels. So proper support, meaning it's going to have proper force feedback. I guess that's already in there. I got to go in and check it out. I'll check it out before Friday's show and give you an update. Give me an excuse to use my racing rig. That'd be great. Where are you at? Are we C? Is C fair?
C, yeah, that's probably where I would put it. C.
All right. Next up, Out of Sight VR. This is on the list. Should it be on the list?
Yeah, I think this is coming this year.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm excited for this, man. Like I was excited for this because we've been begging for Little Nightmares VR for so long, and then this gets announced, as a game that already came to flat screen, and now getting a VR mode or a separate VR SKU. And then Little Nightmares VR got announced. It was like, oh, all right, well, this is interesting. We're getting the best of both worlds, I guess. This is published by Flat to VR. Is that correct? Is that something we need to announce?
Yeah, I think this is Impact Inked, which means publishing. So yeah, I think so.
Okay. Here's my question.
Wait a minute. We might have been co-developers on this actually. I think this is Flat to VR specifically. We did more than publish it. We actually developed the VR version of this. So I was wrong there. This is you're right. This is proper Flat to VR.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Wes. The reviews I've read about Out of Sight VR has said it doesn't do great with like VR implementation, like in terms of like making things VR AF. It's like you walk up and you push a button. Is anybody listening to that feedback and saying, okay, well, we're gonna switch things up a little bit, or maybe by the time it gets to PSVR2, those features will already be added, or are we expecting a pretty straightforward port? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. If there's ever a point where you just I can't answer that question, fucking tell me. But I'm just curious because I think that's going to be where my expectations or my hype level change. Right, it's a separate VR purchase, and so I'd like it to be. There could be a real good reason to purchase it in VR.
Yeah. Well, let me just preface this by saying that I am very disconnected from Flat to VR Studio in terms of what they're doing. So like what they're working on when a game is in development specifically, I really don't know. With that being said, I do think that the reason why this is early access is because they want to focus on more like VR interactions in the game. Now, with that said, this is still a game that's played primarily from the second, third person perspective. Like it's still, it's always going to be that. I do think that they will make strides in that direction of putting more like VR interactions and stuff into the game, but it's never going to be like a first person game, right? So people shouldn't expect it to be.
Right. That works for me. Listen, I'm excited enough about this game and in the whole genre, and again, my desire for a Little Nightmares style game in VR to that this is A tier for me.
I think it's a fair spot for it. Yeah, it's a good game. It's not obviously S tier, but yeah, it's a very good game.
Let me check in with the chat real quick. We got hold on a second. We got AJ PSVR Underground with the $5 tip. What's up, AJ? Saying, hi, hey Brian, hey Wes. Just FYI, you asked chat about Luminous, and it got like 15 people saying S tier. Love you, buddies. We love you too, AJ.
That's true.
Okay. I mean, listen. I said we move it, and Wes was trusting me on this one, and the fact that I was super excited and wanted to put it in double S, and you guys are saying S, we're changing it. It is S tier now. S tier, baby. Let's go, Enhanced Games. Let's fucking go.
Big pile of S tier.
We also got, we got GameCato in the chat. What's up with the Australian $5? Ram says, glad you now appreciate the crazy fun of 90s extreme skiing, Brian. I'll post a vid of its open world multiplayer exploit tomorrow on my YouTube. Thank you. Yes, I'm very interested in the open world aspect of 90s extreme skiing. Instead of it being an exploit, TunerMax should just make it an option. If there's an open world skiing option, we just hang out and ski with friends. Why make it a glitch? Why not do it? Why not just do it? Make it part of the game. But thank you. Yeah, I will definitely say because of GameCato and other people who are excited about 90s extreme skiing, it made me say, okay, well, this is worth checking out. And they're not fucking wrong, man. I had Galaxy Kart level laughs and fun in that game, punching out my friends, racing to the bottom of the hill. I mean, it is fun, big time. So thank you for keeping me on that. Awesome Tatum with the $2 says, everything is D. I am cat, double S. Blah, ha, 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 ha. I love it. Thanks, Tatum. All right. Where the fuck are we, dude? Let's get back on this thing.
Pools.
Yes. I'm excited for Pools. Walking sim type game, creepy atmosphere. I don't know. B?
B. Yeah, I think maybe B. I honestly, I'm not super high on this game. I think it's going to be boring. Probably. I think it'll be cool and interesting for an hour or two. And then people are going to start to get bored with it. It's going to be very samey. I think most people are expecting this to be super high fidelity and like realistic, which it would need to be because of the type of game it is.
Right.
And I don't know why, Brian, but I've just got a feeling that this is going to be a bad port where it's going to be like sharp on Steam, but one of these games that are a little bit blurry on PlayStation. And once you take that super fidelity away from this game, what's left? Not a lot. So yeah, I think B is kind of the top end of where I'm at with it. Like I don't have a lot of expectations for this being very good.
Man, I don't like hearing that. Like I know, like you're just making assumptions here, right? I don't think you don't have any reason to believe it.
I haven't played it. No, I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the developers themselves don't understand like that, the reason to play their game is because of how photorealistic it looks and the cool water effects, and it's a game that's missing something because they've already told you there's no monsters. So you go in being like, this is going to be weird, but there's nothing to be afraid of. I want to go into a game thinking, what is there to be afraid of? Don't tell me there's nothing to be afraid of from the get-go. Right? So I feel like they've already kind of like made a misstep by telling us that. So what's left? Just the fucking photorealism of these bizarre worlds. And if they don't nail that, and it's reprojected to hell and it's blurry, fuck it, man, I'm not interested. But if it runs at 90 native using DFR with a super high, super sampling, makes it ridiculously sharp, and they really understand, hey, talk to Vitruvius, Tensori. That's all I have to say.
For what it's worth, the flat version of this game was super well received. Like, people are really, like, when it came out, people were really raving about it. So you got to think with a game like this that's all about being immersed, right, in the environments. It's literally the entirety of the game is all about being immersed in these environments and being uncomfortable in them. VR should, like, multiply that tenfold, that aspect, if they nail the port. So people's optimism for it is literally the only real thing that is kind of keeping my hope alive for this one. Is like, people say it's good, so maybe it's good. Maybe you just don't see it from watching a trailer. You just have to experience it.
Yeah. I saw Game Grumps play it on the flat screen, and I was like, this would be so good in VR. And then it was like literally days later when I heard about the VR port, I was like, oh, cool. Let's go see, because we don't know that it's going to be a bad port. And based on what it is, it could be very cool. But I think C's fair.
Yeah, I have the potential. I think it has the potential to be A tier if they nail it, but I don't expect them to. So, yeah, I think C's a good spot for now.
All right. Postal VR or Postal 2 VR. Is that what it is?
Postal
again,
VR, that's right.
It was just thrown on the list. Actually, pretty interestingly, it was just thrown on the sometime in 2025 list on our Discord because I assumed. But then after that, it was like, oh, hey, we're going back to the drawing board and we're redoing all the textures, and we've got a Kickstarter planned. Like, I think the direction of this changed dramatically from the time it was announced to now. Correct?
Yeah. This game is not coming this year, and that's good news for everyone.
Good. So I say we skip Postal. Let's not even talk about it. Moving right along to Endream's very own Breach. First game from Studio Elevation. This is a studio that was being hailed as a AAA studio from Endreams themselves. This game's been in development for, I think, 4 years now, and said to be coming out later this year. I don't know, Wes. I've got such mixed feelings about it. I feel like even though we've seen quite a bit of the game, I still don't exactly know what we're doing moment to moment, other than climbing and killing. Is that going to be enough? You tell me.
Yeah, 10 S's. Like, I am so excited for this game. I'm optimistic that this is going to be the one where Endreams finally does it. Like, where the scope finally matches the quality of the game, right? Because the last 4, I want to say, Endreams titles, even like predating the PlayStation titles back to like Oculus exclusives, have been great. They've all been great. They've all been very unique. They do things that no other game does, but they're always 4 to 6 hours and you're done, right? And we consistently nail them on this every time, whether we're talking about Fract or what was the one that
Synapse?
No, not Synapse. They had another one.
Ghostbusters?
No, not Ghostbusters. Anyway, the point being, they always do something different.
I'll keep rolling them off.
They always do something very different, right? Very unique and very fun. And it's always over before it got started. And then we constantly criticize them for this. So they come with Synapse, which takes longer than 4 to 6 hours to play through, but is a lot of playing through the same levels and, repeating on that. So it was kind of like a smart ass answer to the problem, right? Like, right. You guys want more gameplay, huh? Play it 3 times then before you can finish it.
Right.
Okay, great. Thanks. I'm very optimistic that Reach is going to bring it all together now. This seems like AAA VR from what we're seeing. I think the reason why it's so hard to kind of put your finger on what you're doing in this game, because I think it's going to be a true adventure game where you're doing a lot of things as you play your way through the story. Um, I think that there's going to be elements of a game like Fracked in it, but more photorealistic, more immersive instead of that cartoony stylized thing that they had going on there. I think it's going to be a blockbuster. It's going to feel like playing a blockbuster sci-fi action movie. And I think they're going to nail it. I couldn't be more hyped for this game. I think it's going to be absolutely great.
Damn. All right, man. Like this could be the redemption we're looking for. And I think me more than most people think that they need a redemption. They had all these opportunities to bring Fracked to PSVR2, bring Phantom Covert Ops to PSVR2, right? Games that just were good, and unfortunately they're showing on PSVR2. I mean, listen, outside of Synapse, which was really good, but had major fundamental problems that kept it from being peak VR. It just hasn't been a great showing for them since. So yeah, listen, man, I want to put it in the double S category. And be like, this is the game we need to be excited for. I'm not 100% there though. Like, honestly, if I was being completely honest, which I'm trying to do right now, trying to put my feelings into words, it's an A because of their track record.
Whoa. Okay.
But and so, because thinking to myself, oh, could this be the next Synapse, which was awesome? Could this be as fun as Fracked, but maybe like way too short? But if they deliver on everything that we hope they deliver on, and this is like they show, hey, not only are we a great VR developer and we have great ideas, we can execute on them and give you full length game experiences to go along with it. Then yeah, it's going to be a double S. It's going to be a double S. And so because I desperately want you to be right. Let's put this as our first double S game.
Yeah, I think that's where it belongs, man. We can criticize Synapse for their approach to giving us more gameplay, making us replay. It was fun to replay. First of all, it was fun to play through those levels as you continue to unlock the progression, which was awesome. With that said, all negative criticism aside, Synapse is one of the reasons to own a PlayStation VR2. It just absolutely is. It is it's kind of a one of one. No other title has utilized PSVR2's features as effectively as Synapse did. So yeah, I think nDreams is one of the best developers in VR, and this is their attempt at what they call AAA VR, and I think that's what it'll be.
Sun WTF in the chat says, plus they got Yoshida to talk about VR. And you know what? Bonus points for an appearance by Shuhei. Big time. All right, we got Comic Book Guy with the £5 in the chat saying, random question for you. Have you played the newest challenge levels that just released for Astrobot? Bro, I bought Astrobot on the flat screen and played, I think when I got my Portal. Why is this freaking out like this? And so it won't let me click the thumbs up button because it's flashing crazily. I don't know what's happening there. And I played through the first few levels of Astrobot on the flat screen on my Portal and was like, this feels so good to play. This looks so good. This is everything I want an Astrobot game to be, except for the lack of VR support. And which is why I fell off of it. I always fall off of flat screen games in favor of VR games. And so I never completed Astrobot, and I'm definitely not going back for the new levels.
I want to say no VR, no buy, but that's not exactly true. My son got it. He picked it up, so we have it here. I have not played it. So,
GameCata with the Australian $5. There it is. I think my tip window is about to crash. GameCata with the Australian 5 says, Struth Cobber, you wouldn't guess this, but 90s Extreme Skiing is on my double S tier. Well, it's not coming out later this year, so how could it be? It's obviously high on your top 25, though. That's good to hear. Grand Paz Barbecue or GameCat Ringer with the Australian $2 tip. Heavy on the Australian love today. Love it. Says, I give Postal at a triple S tier. Wants us to add a triple S tier and put Postal up in there. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Game Cato again. What's up with the Australian $5? Says, yeah, I know it's out already. Oh, he tipped before I even responded to him. I know it's out already, but every Game Cat needs to join us on the slopes. I've lost 2 kg, that must be kilograms, from playing it hardcore like I'm really skiing. That's amazing. Oops. There we go. That's the button we're looking for.
You know who else likes to play hardcore like they're really skiing?
Is this a cocaine joke?
No, it's not a cocaine joke. It's like they're skiing. Get it?
Got it. Yeah, now I do. Oh my god.
She's very popular.
Yeah.
She has to beat the guys off with both hands.
Man, there is a Trump joke in there, but I just don't want to make it. Time to talk about Retronika, which I've only seen trailers of. Like this one. Nope, that was poorly timed. Like this one. There it is. You're just driving a hover bike through a futuristic city, doing God knows what. I have no idea, but you're shooting things, and I love the look of this. I love that you get to shoot stuff. I love that it's racing or flying to any degree. Bro, I don't know. What have you played this? Are you excited for this? What? Tell me. Talk to me.
I have played it. Yes, I have played a little bit of it.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, I should have played more. I should have played more of it before we talked about it, but I played about an hour of it or so. I think I had very high expectations for it just because it looks appealing, like the trailers look cool.
Yeah.
And my expectations were tempered a little when I was playing. It wasn't quite as fun as I had hoped, but with that said, there is progression in the game, and it seems like one of those games that had I kept going with it, it would have gotten better. It's a little slow paced at the start. I expected this to be more of a fast paced shoot 'em up on a bike type game, and it's more about instead of like outrunning things, it's more about being able to keep your attention and dodge things while you're also trying to shoot things over here. It's one of those, multitasking type games. The shooting in it, very basic pew pew shooting. It's not quite as refined as you would have hoped. It's average to slightly above average. Like, I had fun with it. I didn't have a blast. But with that said, I did recognize the potential for it to get better as you go through progression.
Looking at the chat, I see Awesome Tatum say, I played Retronika on Quest. Gazzlers all over again. Fun in short bursts. Colin Love says, get that Quest game off the screen. Nihilist Ryan says Retronika is double S for me because it gives me Stardust Odyssey vibes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm right there with him. It reminds what I'm seeing here on the screen reminds me so much of Stardust Odyssey. But I can't imagine that there's stealth in this game like there was in Stardust Odyssey, hiding behind the ships so they don't detect you. But who knows? Maybe there is.
At the beginning of the game, there's not. And for what it's worth, people keep saying Gazzlers is better than Retronika.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, give me. You tell me, man. Because I feel like I'm like at a C. Is that too low? Is that too high? Is that right? Spot on.
That's probably where it belongs. Yeah. C.
Okay. C it is. All right. Moving on then. We got Roboquest VR on here. I feel like again, this whole show should just be called Wes Tells Us That We Shouldn't Expect Any Flat to VR games in 2025.
Roboquest is coming this year.
Woohoo! All right, double S.
I gotta be honest, man. People should be hyped for Roboquest. I wasn't. I mean, when they announced this game was coming to VR, I looked into it, and I saw something that I thought would be similar to other things that we have in VR already. Mm-hmm. Upon seeing what the game has become now in development, this game's going to be fucking awesome, dude. People are going to love Roboquest VR. So people should be like super hyped. Like it's not double S tier or anything like that. It's not a triple A game, but the fun factor is going to be off the charts. So fast paced and co-op. Tons of progression, tons of awesome guns. Like this game is going to be fucking awesome. So yeah, take that and put it where you will. But yeah,
You
I
where I'm
think
gonna
people
put
should
it.
be hyped for Roboquest.
Yeah, listen, I'm. This is one of those games that I'm excited for because of Steam reviews of the flat screen version, right? Like when you say, "Oh, I'm tired of kind of cell shaded Borderlands looking games. I'm tired of roguelites." It sounds like this is the game that's going to make you go, "Fuck all that. This game's fucking amazing." And it doesn't matter if you're tired of the genre or tired of the cartoon visuals. Uh, I love so many developers think that you fast paced like first person shooting and VR do not go hand in hand, but we know as people who live and die in VR, that's what we're looking for. We want it to be fast paced. We want it to play like the flat screen, over the top, speed. And it sounds like this is going to deliver on all of that. And so I'm super excited, man. And I honestly, this is probably double S tier for me, to be honest. And I see a lot of people in the chat agreeing with us or with me.
I'm going to recuse myself here because obviously I'm personally invested in it, but I think it could be in terms of fun factor, certainly. Like it's going to be awesome. So
Nice. Oh well, guess what? We're putting it up there, and which means now that we've kind of like broken the seal a little bit on the double S tier, means maybe like we're gonna have to go back and look and see which of these other games belong up there. But again, we'll get there at the end. All right, probably controversial, but the next thing we're gonna talk about is Secret of the Mimic, Five Nights at Freddy's. Listen, this is the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, to my knowledge, that is actually like a full-fledged game and not just a collection of mini games. This is actually like a first-person adventure game, heavily narrative-driven, and it's supposed to be scary and just takes the formula and blows it out of the water in ways that I think the FNAF fans have been asking for like a decade. And the fact that they're taking enough care with the PSVR2 version. That again, it was like the way people played this game to begin with. We definitely thought Secret of the Mimic was going to be here alongside the flat screen version, but obviously they want to make sure that it's done really well. And we've seen Five Nights at Freddy's done really well in VR. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, the first one, it just looks and runs so incredible on PSVR 2, whereas the second game less so. And so anyway, I've very high expectations for this game. I'm very excited about it for all of the reasons I listed. It is horror. It is a full-fledged Five Nights at Freddy's game, and I really, really hope that they deliver the VR port to the same degree that they did with the first Five Nights game.
Yeah, so I haven't watched a lot of gameplay of like the flat version here, so I don't have a real clear mental picture on what this is. But I'm relatively optimistic for this game. I'm not a big fan of the existing Five Nights at Freddy's VR games, but that's all because of the structure of the game. Like, I really dig the vibe and the world that they've built. Like, I think they have a sufficiently creepy scene and setting. They have characters. I'm into all of that. Like, all that stuff's really cool. It's just the like collection of mini games aspect that I didn't really care for. So like if this is going to be like a more of a like a horror adventure style game or even like a stealth adventure game, then yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this much more than the existing Five Nights at Freddy's. So I'm somewhat optimistic for it, but I'm not over the top. So like, I think the highest I would possibly go on this is an A. Um, yeah, like a lower A tier for me on this.
A is exactly where I wanted to put it. 8-Bit Most says A is a good spot. Snafu says, who came up with the colors for the categories? I didn't. This is the default colors they give you. So yeah, not me. I'm sorry. Looks like Scott says A. Sun WTF says A, but could be an S. Dr. Death says could be S tier. All right, but listen, it's everywhere. Some people are saying C or B, but I'm thinking A. I'm thinking A. So let's roll the dice, Wes, and hopefully it pays off. I think that this could be a really good game. All right, man. We've only got a handful left, so let's keep it moving. We got Shadowgate VR, Minds of Mythrock, which like legit fucking 3 years ago, you and I played for an episode of GamesCast Live when they first announced it was going to come to PSVR2. It fell off the radar completely, and then just came back up. I think Impact is publishing, and yeah, so Shadowgate, Minds of Mythrock, I believe, is supposed to come this year. I'm excited.
That is correct. It is currently slated for this year. I've always kind of held this game as underrated. This is a very good game, in my opinion. And I do expect there to be some, visual upgrade coming over to PlayStation. Not a ton, because it's a great looking game on the Quest. One of a very few titles that I know of that doesn't take the approach of having a bunch of low poly environments and then putting a 3D wallpaper on it. You go into this game and you're going up to these cobblestone walls and there's actual stones in it. Like, I don't know how they technically pulled it off, but these old game devs from the 80s, they know tricks, man. They know what they're doing. And I love it because it is it's a VRAF like VR game. But there are elements of the game that when you get in there and you experience it, it feels like you're in the old Shadowgate world. Like the way the enemies appear and kind of float in front of you. You can kind of zones you back to playing it on 8-bit Nintendo when an enemy would appear in a corridor like that. Like there's all sorts of these little stylistic things that don't stick out immediately at first, but when you get in there and you experience it, it brings like a retro, like nostalgia feeling to you. With that said, on the other hand, this is like a 2018, 2019 VR game that's coming to a PSVR2. So there may be some things about it that feel like that. But I think it's an underrated game. I think it's very good. I think this is probably an A tier game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw lots of people in the chat, people who have played it and people who have not played it, all saying the same thing. They're saying A tier as well, and that's where my head was at. Based on, I only played the first hour. I think, from what I've heard, it's much longer than that, like 6 to 8 hours type thing minimum. Do you remember? Roughly.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but 8 to 10 is where I was thinking that it fell. So
very cool, very cool. Yeah, nice little puzzle adventure with combat. Sounds great, man. Sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. Like I said, I could use like 20 of those a year.
Yeah, right.
Real quick here, let's take a look at the chat. I saw another tip come through from Sun WTF. What's up, dude? Hanging out with him in the Discord today. With the $5 tip, he says, Mimic flat screen. Secret of the Mimic flat screen is really fun. Got it for my kid. Clearly areas that will thrive in VR, like shooting sections. They feel VR dumbed down for the flat screen. Good. I like it, man. I like it. Secret of the Mimic. Hype. All right, we're up to Slender VR, The Arrival. Or Slender, The Arrival VR.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this this game specifically. I'm not super familiar with the original game. Obviously, I'm familiar with Slender Man, the legend, so to speak. And I am a fan of horror games. I don't think this was a particularly like celebrated flat screen horror game.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm optimistic because it's a VR horror game that's coming. But that's pretty much the extent of my feeling about it.
My hope is that it's worth the wait. My hope is that Perp had been, there were some questionable releases, and the fact that they held back on the release of this one. This was supposed to be, I think they were shooting for like a Halloween-ish release of this in 2024, and the fact that they then pushed it to late 2025 is a good sign, right? That they're like, we need to go back to drawing board, we need to fix the port, we need to make sure that it's maybe 90 native or this or that or whatever. Like so many developers say, hey, it's going to be a lot of work to add DFR to our game. And if that's what happened here, and they were like, but we're willing to put the work in. This is just me guessing. I haven't actually asked what the issues with Slender were anytime I talk to Perp, but I'm just hoping that it means that they care enough about the port to make sure that it's solid and like looks really good in the headset. People have learned a lot of tricks over the years, and it would be a real shame if Perp put out a game that didn't take advantage of those tricks that they've learned. So for me though, this kind of fits right in with Pools and Dreams of Another. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's probably going to be decent, but I'm not super excited for it. So maybe C.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm looking forward to it more than the Obsessive Shadow. I'm looking forward
True.
to it more than Pools. I'm looking forward to it more than Already Dead, which is in the B tier right now.
That's true.
So yeah, like I don't know if Already Dead needs to come down to C or if this needs to go up to B, but I guess we can figure that out in a minute if you want. I don't know.
No, we can do that. Listen, I again, this is very personal hype level for Already Dead, but I think being more realistic about it, if we drop that down to C and then put this in B, that makes sense to me.
Okay, I think that's the move.
All right, here, let's do this in front of people. There we go. Put this in B. Already Dead is now in C. Hey, dude, this list is looking pretty fucking good. Surviving Mars Pioneer. Oh, hey, you wrote a blog post about this one.
I did, and this game is available in early access right now on other platforms. Yeah, man, this is a weird one for me because it's not my genre of game. This is like space survival, kind of a No Man's Sky light, so to speak, like, which isn't a bad thing, right? Like No Man's Sky, my big criticism of No Man's Sky is it's just too much for me, right? So having like a scaled back No Man's Sky is kind of a good thing. I had kind of low expectations for how this game would be received. I thought that when it launched, that it would find its audience of players that says, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I want. But I expected that audience to be relatively limited. And then there would be other people saying that, this pure survival is just not for me and it's boring. That's not what we saw. This game launched to pretty universally good reviews, which gets me kind of optimistic about it. I'm going to again recuse myself from grading this, as I am like personally close to it. But I got to say, I was pleasantly surprised with the reception for the early access version of this game on other platforms, which makes me somewhat optimistic about how it's going to turn out on PlayStation.
Nice. I will say, just like the same conversation I have about I Am Cat and at least one other game, I feel like this is the third time you've heard this exact conversation from me, but fuck it, you guys are here for the ride. I feel like Surviving Mars Pioneer, is that what it's called?
That's right.
Is fulfilling the dream I had when I played Mars Alive on PSVR1. It was like this super crazy budget, like $12 game where you just like walked around the surface of Mars. You picked up a lot of candy bars and shit to survive, and it's like you slowly like expanded to other like little space areas, like areas where you could like grow plants and that kind of stuff. And it always felt like they were dangling this carrot at the end of the stick that like around the next corner is going to be something crazy. Then you beat the game and you never saw anything crazy, but it was like that sense of wonder where you're like, what is going to be around the next corner? What am I going to experience? And then you never did. You never the gameplay loop wasn't bad, right? But it was unrewarding. Ultimately, it didn't pay off at the end. And I feel like that this game is giving me the same vibes. It looks like it's very similar gameplay wise. It looks like it's designed better for VR. So like the VRAF interactions seem like they're going to be more enjoyable. And like I mean, you're doing a lot of the same things, even the rover. So I feel like this is going to deliver on the promise that game made to me that I never actually got. And I'm with you. No Man's Sky is an amazing game, but it's just too much. And so yeah, a scaled back version of it. Fucking, I'm on board, man. I'm on board. I kind of want to I just want to lean on the chat a little bit here and see what they're saying. See a lot of bees.
Yeah.
I see a lot of bees. Jack Kelly says, I want another game from the Genotype people. That game was a 10 out of 10. Jack, you are in luck. This game is from the Genotype people. This is Bulwark Games.
Yep.
How lucky for you.
This is their follow-up. This is their follow-up to Genotype, which I agree was great. Maybe not 10 out of 10, but like 8.5, 9 out of 10 for me. Like, I think Genotype is another one like Shadowgate that's very underrated. So
Snafu says, Mars is full of candy bars? Shockingly. You learn something new here every day.
Yeah, it's Mars bars, actually.
Oh, but the pump. That was my version of.
They still make Mars bars. I don't feel like I see them very often.
There's no way to know. I have no idea. I don't know, man. I think we should go B.
Yeah, good. Again, I recuse myself here. I can see why certain people would be super hyped on it, and I can see why other people wouldn't be. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. If anybody in the chat thinks it should go higher, please let us know. Because yeah, I'm kind of going with you guys, to be honest. But I'm excited for it, definitely.
And AJ in the chat says sold. I don't think they've ever made a bad game. They've made a lot of games actually. These are the developers of Dick Wild 1 and 2. Which I didn't play Dick Wild 1, but I played Dick Wild 2 and it was good. It was fun.
Yeah. Dick Wild 1 was fucking hardcore. Like, I mean, it felt like you like got to be in shape and like learning patterns, and I mean it was like it's not bullet hell, but it's pretty much the VR equivalent of bullet hell. Like, I mean, just it's very, very difficult. Dick Wild 2 was way more laid back, but very good. All right. Oh, World of Long Plays asking the important question, says, but are Mars bars better than Milky Way bars?
I don't remember. I just eat Twix and Reese's Cups these days.
Ah, good stuff.
With an occasional Toblerone.
Ooh. Dude, I've never had a Toblerone, but I just love that they're big ass, triangle pyramid type things.
They're awesome, dude. If you get the ones that have the butter toffee pieces in it, it's excellent. Highly recommended.
Okay. We've only got a couple more, so let's push our way through it. And it's getting hot in here because I turned my AC off before the show, and it's 90 degrees outside. That was a bad
Go turn it on if you need to, man. This is a long show.
Yeah, whatever. I sweat for you guys. Thief VR, Legacy of Shadow. We are here, man. This is big. This is big news right here. Being developed by Vertigo and I believe Mixed Realms. Is that who made Mixed Realms?
That's
that
right.
Doesn't sound right.
No, Mixed Realms. No, it's not Mixed Realms. It's
Maze Theory.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew it was That's the right. Doctor Who Infinite Inside people.
Doctor
and
Who?
That's oh crap. You're noticing me sweating. Crap. So that's the only thing that scares me about this game. That's it. That's the only thing that scares me is the team that's behind it. Is because they make good games, they don't make great games. Or so far, I don't think they've made great games. But you tell me, Wes. Should I be excited for Thief?
Yeah, I think so, man. I agree with your kind of assessment of Mixed Realms. Not Mixed Realms. Why do we keep saying that? Maze Theory.
Yeah, it's tough.
That they've almost hit the mark a few times, but not quite. Never really nailed it. But I've got growing respect for Vertigo games, and they continue to level up and level up and level up, and their name is on this. And when you pair that with the franchise, I've got very high expectations for this game. I'm not 100% sure they're going to nail it, but I'm very optimistic that they will. So I think this, just based on the potential that it has alone, I think this should be SS tier. I think it should be top of the list.
Whoa, that's crazy. This is one of those that concerns me because of the fact that it's being developed for Quest as well, and my assumption is that they're gonna try to make it run on Quest.
So is
2.
Reach. So is Roboquest.
Is Reach also coming to Quest 2?
A Quest 2? Oh, I thought you meant Quest also, not
Well,
Quest 2.
yes,
Quest 2.
but Quest 3,
I
I think
I don't
Quest
know.
3 like removes a lot of the barriers for me, right?
It
Like
does.
a
It
lot of things
does.
that holds back standalone VR gets removed with Quest 3. And so, but when you try to make your game run on Quest 2, that's when I start getting real concerned. And so if you know,
So Thief has said that they are going to support Quest 2.
I just don't know like what that means for this. Like I'm not expecting an open world game, but I do want to go from rooftop to rooftop, as they've talked very thoroughly about in the description of this game and on the PlayStation blog, and have it give it that open world feel, even if you are a little more on rails than it seems. I just want that sense of freedom, and I hope that it also being in development for Quest 2 doesn't remove that. So that's a concern for me as well, along with the development studio. If it delivers on the excitement of a Thief game, and like is the world as interactive as they're making it seem in these trailers? If all of that's true, this could be great, man. Yeah, this could be double S tier.
Yeah. I think your concern is legitimate with Quest 2, but I think our hope is that, as we've seen so many times before with the Skydance games, for example, like Behemoth, or even the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which I still hold is probably the best that VR has. Those games were great, but they were just bad on Quest 2. So like maybe that's what'll happen here. Maybe they'll just release a game that's great everywhere except for Quest 2.
I like where the chat's at. Looper is reminding us that Assassin's Creed Nexus does that, and it's on Quest 2. So the things that I like,
That's true.
Right? That's totally possible. Markio saying that this feels like a Vampire the Masquerade style game. That sounds true too. And Vampire the Masquerade is phenomenal. I think that game is super underrated. Really I don't know, man. If you're willing to put this in SS, I am as well, but it's putting a few fears aside when I do it.
Yeah, I don't quite hold it to the same expectation level as Reach. But I think that it's firmly above like Demeo and Ghost Town and these other games that we have here. So
okay, yeah, hey, this isn't looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Again, it just got revealed during the Upload VR showcase was Trenches VR. This is World War I, I believe, game, psychological horror. I don't know a ton about it, but if it is the same game as Trenches, which it looks like it's based on, if not the exact same game. Trenches is a flat screen Steam game, and it looks like it's very short, like a couple hours at most. And so I don't think the scope of this one is very large. It seems like maybe an hour or two long experience that should be filled with like jump scares and that kind of stuff. This is low, Wes. Even though it's horror, it's low on the list for me because I don't expect much from it.
Yeah, that was me. I was really excited for this for about 20 seconds or so, and then it started to like, oh, this looks really samey, right? Like it looks like what they've got here will probably be good for a little while, but then it's just going to be like, God, is there anything else? So yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be bad or anything but I don't necessarily think it's going to be good either. So I'm like at a C for this.
Yeah, C works for me because it's there because I love horror. It's there because I'm looking forward to. I heard people complaining about the jump scares. There's too many of them, and I'm like, I am not that person. I love jump scares. I think jump scares can be very, very effective for putting you off. I do too.
But exactly, if you have too many of them, then you never let your guard down, then they just stop working.
Right.
That's why I like the jump scares in Home Sweet Home so much. Like that, they didn't use a lot of them, but when they did, they fucking worked, man. Because you weren't expecting them.
Yeah, let's put this in C. And I do want to remind people, like, we don't have. I didn't include all the things that we are guessing is going to be shovelware, like the stairwell horror and a few other ones that are all on their way that look shovelware like. I feel like the F category would have been used much more heavily if I included all the shovelware stuff. But like this is already going to be a long show, and I didn't need to make it longer. Oops, I forgot to turn that off so you guys could see where I put trenches. Right there. Right there. All right, we got Virtual Hunter. This just got revealed too during the Upload VR showcase, and you can go out and hunt animals in like this open world. I think with 5 other hunters. I think it's 6 players online. I could be wrong on that. Doesn't look great graphically, but it does deliver something that I think a lot of people will be interested in. What about you?
Yeah, I'm actually surprisingly optimistic about this game. This is a genre that, you know, has a very dedicated following outside of VR. But we haven't seen any hunting games come to VR, and it seems like a no-brainer. Like if you've got a platform that lends itself really well to simulation style games, you'd think that stuff like this would be the first kind of thing you see in VR, and we just haven't seen that. Went hunting a lot when I was a young man.
I would have put money
Um,
on that.
yeah. So when I see Virtual Hunter, that they're really they're showing everything that you would want a hunting game in VR to have. There's a big semi-open world for you to scout. You can go out and scout and look for signs of wildlife and kind of choose where you want to hunt out based on that. All the types of equipment and progression and the multiplayer, everything that you would want in a VR hunting game seems to be here. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about this. Now, obviously, it's going to be held back a little bit because of genre, right? It's not going to appeal to everyone.
Sure.
But I'm actually pretty optimistic that this is going to be a solid game. And yeah, I'm kind of like around B on this one, I think.
Um, 8-Bit Most Place brings up something that I mentioned on the recent podcast, saying it would be great if there was friendly fire, like if you could
Right.
accidentally hurt your.
Dick Cheney mode.
Yeah, exactly. AJ says, "Can you hunt dangerous aliens?" I would love if they like had the serious mode where it was very much like realistic hunting, and then they also were like, "Oh, by the way, it's a video game, so here's aliens." That would be great. I'm not a hunter. I've never been a hunter. I've never cared about hunting. It's like not something that appeals to me in the slightest. But I gotta say, I love hunting games. I bought the Cabela game that came to PlayStation Move, and had an absolute blast with that, like Dangerous Game or whatever it was called. It was really good. I like hunting games in the arcade. So I'm oddly not excited about this one, but I'm looking forward to playing it, and that kind of puts it in B tier for me.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for it.
Cool. Cool. Um. All right. We got Wallace and Gromit up next. Wallace and Gromit, The Grand Getaway. Uh, I I almost want to remove myself from this because I feel like if you're not a Wallace and Gromit fan, like if you didn't grow up watching it or whatever, then like how could you possibly get excited about it? And I didn't. I think I've seen like 1 episode of Wallace and Gromit ever. I've seen about 20 episodes of Shaun the Sheep, which I really love. Um, so I don't know, man. Are you familiar with this series more than me?
Vaguely. I mean, obviously I've heard about it, but I've never watched it. I've never been kind of privy to anything outside of VR with it. Um, the most of my familiarity with the franchise comes because they had another VR title a couple years ago that was really casual, kind of slapstick mini games and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm like you. I'm not a fan of the genre, and I don't really have any feeling about this game one way or the other. Like it's something I really could care less about. So Yeah, I don't know where to put it. Not high, not very
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, it's D because I just don't. The appeal, I think, would be to see these characters interact with them and see this world in VR. Like, how cool is that? It's cool for people who have enjoyed the series, and so it'd be very personal for me to put it in D, saying I just didn't grow up with this. So I kind of want to lean on the chat. Like, let's hear from you guys because if you're a fan of the series, how much does this appeal to you? Right, like you're the ones who should be telling us if we should be excited for this. I will say the walkabout course, the Wallace and Gromit walkabout course was great. It was great. Just walking, even just having only seen like an episode of the animated series, it was cool to see that shit in VR. And so this is more of that, but more an actual game. So there's that. Grandpa's Barbecue or Gamecat says C. Anybody else? Dr. Death says C or B tier. Tatum says C. It does look like a decent VR game despite not knowing the IP well. I know, Dan. You guys aren't talking about this. You're talking about mushrooms. It's fine. It's all good. We're used to the chat being in a completely different conversation than us. That's how it goes. All right. Everybody's saying C. We're just going to put it in C. Nice. All right. This one's... I don't know how this one's on anybody's radar. It's called Whispers of a Tarnished City. Do you even remember this one getting announced?
I don't remember it getting announced. I've been sitting here for the last few minutes, kind of looking into it in the background. I will say this: this developer is extremely transparent. There's a whole 10 video playlist about the development journey of this game, and a lot of it's like not a lot of it, but some of it is even like focused toward other developers to kind of teach, some what they've learned about VR development. So all that's really cool. Um, from what I'm seeing here, I'd be shocked if this game comes out this year for PlayStation, but maybe it will. It looks
Uh,
cool, has cool art direction. It looks like a action adventure game, cell shaded graphics to some extent. But cool art direction and the type of game that I like. There's some like sci-fi weirdness going on here. So it looks like it could be cool. But I'm not super familiar with it, and I don't really have a lot of expectations one way or the other for it.
yeah, I don't know why I don't have the trailer handy, and I don't know why.
The trailer doesn't do it any favors. I did find the trailer, and that was the first thing I saw, and it didn't look very good. But some of these behind the scenes things I'm looking at make it look a little bit better.
Here we go. I finally got the trailer. Let's see. Let's throw that up on the screen so you guys can see. Yeah, the environments look very, very simple. I don't like the purple that's everywhere. It just feels like, I don't know, like very, I don't know, unserious. That's a weird thing to say. But just it was the first word that kind of popped into my head. I have not seen this trailer before. That's interesting. Yeah, you're right. The trailer's not doing it any favors at all. It feels like it's a proof of concept, at least in this phase. If this is how it looks when it comes out, I'm not going to be thrilled. Hopefully, this is just like the beginning stages of the game. Man, I have no interest in this whatsoever. At least at this point. This kind of goes into F tier for me.
Much, it's better than that. Um, yeah, I would say D, probably D tier, and not because I expect it to be bad. It's just I don't have very much expectation for it.
Yeah.
But I have seen some promising things in some of the videos that I've been flipping through over the last 10 minutes. So
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Let's we'll be here. We won't be mean. We will throw it in D, and hopefully we'll see future trailers that give us a little bit more hope, that like show off the stuff that they're talking about.
I guess they're working on some kind of a demo. One of the titles for their videos here is game dev working on the Tarnished City demo, Q&A back from Sony PlayStation event in Bangalore. So apparently they are connected to Sony pretty well. They're doing Asian events.
Okay. Cool. And then the only one left we have on here is Wrath VR, and I don't think that's actually coming out this year.
I'm just not even going to talk about Wrath because I don't know what's public and what's not about this game. It is in development. It is far along in development. It's been in development for a long time, but I don't know what they've said about it publicly about when it's coming versus when it's not coming. And yeah, so I'm just not even going to say anything about it.
That's totally fair. Like I said, a lot of these games ended up on this list just because they were thrown into the release calendar arbitrarily by yours truly, who said, "Oh, they announced it in January. It's probably coming out this year," and that's as far as that thought process made it. Which means we've got a fucking killer list here. And so let's take a quick look at it. We've got in D, nothing in F. Like I said, all of the shovelware probably would have ended up there. I'm glad we didn't waste our time talking about that. But in D tier, we got Hide the Corpse and Whispers of the Tarnished City, which isn't bad, man. That's a couple decent games to have that low. In the C tier, we have Dreams of Another, Kid Pilot, Obsessive Shadow, Omega Pilot Evolution, Pools, Retronika, Already Dead, Trenches VR, and Wallace and Gromit. And I gotta say, dude, for being C tier, like I'm looking forward to playing all of these games, and some of it's just out of pure curiosity as to like what is this game, or what's the quality level going to be like. I think C stands for curious, in on this big time.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, we probably could have stratified this a little bit more. I feel like there's a couple of different tiers of games in C, but yeah, for the most part. Most of them I'm looking forward to trying, so I'm with you there.
Moving up to B tier is Boxing Underdog, CatTana, Red Flowers, ColdVR, Grit and Valor, I Am Cat, Slender, The Arrival VR, Surviving Mars, Pioneer. I can't believe that Slender and Surviving Mars are in the same category. Those feel like very, very different categories. I feel like Surviving Mars should be A. B. I'm looking at all the other stuff in the B category, and Surviving Mars just seems like it should be above it. Did you back out of this one because of your involvement?
Yeah, I think so, and I think again, the quality level of the game is not in question. Like everything Flatout VR does is going to be top notch quality, but I do recognize that there is going to be some limited interest based on the genre and the type of game that it is.
Let's fucking move it, man. Because if I'm in control of this one, like just honestly, like looking at the games on this list, it's like, yeah, it is a significant jump higher than all the other games in B for me. So just move Surviving Mars to A. And along with Surviving Mars, we have Sirens on my end. We have Aces of Thunder, Lo-Fi, Out of Sight VR, Secret of the Mimic, Shadowgate. Wow. And that's the stuff in A category. S tier is D&D, aka Battlemarked Dungeons and Dragons Demeo. We get not Flatout. Flatout is taking the place of V Racer Hoverbike, which we are all very excited for. We got Ghost Town, which I honestly think could be in the SS tier, based on my level of excitement for it. Into Black, which is another game that could be SS tier for me personally. Of Lies and Rain, which is another game that could be SS tier for me personally. Luminous, which I started the conversation by saying SS tier. But again, I'm glad we're tempering expectations a bit and being realistic about this and saving double S for Breach, Roboquest, and Thief. It's pretty good. Dude, all of these games are coming this year. All of these games, we have 5 months left in the year, Wes. 5 months left in the year. Like anybody who's like not excited about VR is like, oh, there's no good games coming, or there's nothing, oh, I've just sold my PSVR headset. Bro, how could you look at this list of games and see all of these incredible titles on the way, and be anything less than excited. Like, I'm super hyped to play so many of these titles. I'm very glad that the rest of the year is looking this promising.
Yeah, and the top two tiers, I mean, the idea that we have that many awesome games to look forward to in the remaining 4 months of the year is just nuts to me to even consider. Obviously they won't all make it. Some will get pushed back, but even still, it's a good time to be a VR gamer. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Kramer 3K says final standings are okay, but I'd move Ghost Town and Into Black up a tier and drop Slender a tier or two. Totally fair. Totally fair. I agree with the first two being maybe going up to SS, but it's a good list, man. It's a good list. Okay, now the question is how do we go to how do we check out what you guys voted for? Let's see if I can do that right now. Here we go. So 124 of you participated. Awesome. And then you cast amongst you 2,100 votes, which is incredible. I have no idea how this works. Let's see. Do I have to vote in order for this to happen, or can I just click on? Oh, it wants me to vote. Hold on a second. I don't want to fucking vote. This is so strange. Okay. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess how else would you be able to portray all of these answers? So 2% of you voted any games in the SS category. Or 2% of the games that you guys voted on ended up in SS. 6% ended up in single S. 22% ended up in A. 31% ended up in B. 12% ended up in C category. And then 14% ended up in D. With a shocking 14% in the F category. What the fuck did you guys put in the F category? That's crazy. Although I'm guessing, they probably weren't as nice to Hide the Corpse and Whispers of a Forgotten City and a couple other games that yeah. So, dude, I think this is still really good percentages. That means if you've got a PSVR2 headset and you're wondering what games are coming and wondering what games you're interested in, there was obviously, my guess would be every single person in the chat has at least 5 games to look forward to for the rest of the year. That's just I think that's a very conservative guess, and I think that averages to 1 game a month, which is, I'll tell you, way better than the amount of games I'm looking forward to on the flat screen.
Yeah, that's true.
AJ says he DM'd me the voted game tier. I don't even know what that means.
It means the thing that you would have had to vote to see, he voted so he can see. So he probably screenshotted it to you and sent it to him.
Oh, hold on. So if I just vote, it'll show, the results will show up?
That's my assumption. It's my assumptions. I don't know. But that's the way I took it, yeah.
Oh man, I don't want to spend time voting for all of these. But I'm gonna do it real fast because oh yeah, no, these color choices are bad. Whoever said that earlier, you're absolutely right. So many of these look the same when you're trying to vote this. Oh, what a joke. This is horrible. Battlemarked, obviously. Wow, who the hell put up with this crap? I'm voting very, very quickly, and so I hope I don't skew the results too much. You know what? I'm doing my personal ones. I'm gonna throw some of these. I'm gonna throw some of these a little bit higher than we did it on the combined. You guys are seeing me vote in real time here. This is good. Oh, double S tier, yeah. Obsessive Shadow could be fun. Of Lies and Rain, yeah. Mega Pilot, meh. Yeah. Pools, C. Postal, why the fuck not? Yeah, we'll go double S tier. Roboquest. Oh yeah, let's back up on top. Secret of the Mimic. Yep.
I voted and I'm not seeing anything, man. So I don't know.
Oh man, I wonder what's going on. We'll find out real quick here. find out real quick. Wallace and Gromit, Tarnished City. Sorry, Tarnished City. I just fucking screwed you. All right. So I voted for all of them. And then... Oh. There's a tab right on top. I didn't need to vote for any of this shit. It's just average vote. You see the tab that says average vote?
Screen are you on?
It's where you voted. It's the exact same screen where you're clicking the votes. And then there's a tab right below ranking every PlayStation VR2 game still coming in 2025. It says your list, most votes, and then average vote.
Because I'm not logged in, which is fine. I'll just let you tell everyone what it says.
Looking at the screen, but it's very confusing because it's showing. It looks because according to this there are 0 double S votes, and then like it's all very confusing. I don't understand why this is the average. Markio says you suck, Brian. I know. But you know who likes it that I suck?
It doesn't matter what everyone else thinks anyway. All that matters is what I think. I think Reach is going to be amazing.
Looper's saying click most votes. Okay. Oops, that's not where you click that. Let's try that. Click most votes. Trying to click most votes. God damn it. Why do I suck? There it is. Oh, okay. This is what we're looking for. You guys voted Thief and Reach. Those are the only ones that made it to double S. Single S was Ghost Town, Ace of Thunder, V-Racer Hoverbike, Of Lies and Rain, Into Black, Roboquest VR, and then A tier made it like Postal, which isn't actually coming out this year, Shadowgate, Dreams of Another, Out of Sight VR, Omega Pilot Evolution, Trenches, Wrath, which isn't coming out this year, Lo-Fi, Luminous. In B tier, it's Demeo, CatTana, Grit and Valor, Boxing, Underdog, ColdVR, Already Dead. All right, Already Dead made it to B tier with you guys. That's good enough. I'll take it. I Am Cat's B tier, Secret of the Mimic, Slender, The Arrival, Kid Pilot. Okay, I like you guys. You know what? I don't care what I've said about you before. I'm saying good stuff about you now. You guys voted good. Looks like Retronika, Surviving Mars is B. That's fine. Wallace and Gromit and Virtual Hunter, both B. And then we got Obsessive Shadow, Hide the Corpse, Pools, and Tarnished City all in C. I think it's fair. You guys did good. Pretty good. Holy crap, Wes. This has been a long ass stream.
Yep.
Thank you so much, dude. It is these long ones can be killer. But I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed making this list with you.
That was fun.
You guys, make sure you go subscribe to Wes over at Virtual Strangers. The link for that is in the description below. You got to catch up on his most recent streams and all streams moving forward. Remember, they don't just do PSVR2 stuff there. They do all VR, which is very, very important. It's very important to have a understanding of what's happening in the entire industry, not what's just happening in our little bubble that we focus on here. Before we take off, I want to rattle off 3 more tips. We got Mad_Vegan double_vegan with the $5. Says, wife surprised me with 9 Inch Nails concert tickets. Finally got Arcanage in over a 2-hour show with the amazing future of VR. What a great day. Holy crap, dude. 9 Inch Nails tickets and Arcanage on the same day?
It's a great day.
It's really great. Love 9 Inch Nails. Armani Coleman with the $2 tip says Rise of Hydra might show gameplay soon. Am I alone on not knowing what Rise of Hydra is? Is that... Why do I think that... Is that not G.I. Joe?
Thinking Legend of Zelda. Wasn't there a Hydra in that?
Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. It's a 2026 action-adventure game developed by Skydance and published by Playon. Plaion.
Oh, developed by Skydance.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew Skydance was working on something else. I didn't know that this is what it is.
Is this VR? My assumption was that they hadn't announced any other VR games.
Yeah, like I wasn't aware of it. It very
Yeah.
well could be a flat game. You know, Skydance, not interactive, but Skydance in general is a big multimedia company, so it would make more sense for them to develop flat games, honestly.
This is it absolutely would. But this is an Amy Hennig project, who's the producer and the lead writer. So it's bound to be good. At least there's that. Where are we? Back over here. I've got like 1,000 windows open. I apologize for being so scatterbrained today. Thanks for the tip, Armani. We got AJ. Thank you so much for DMing me, and so I fucking understood how things work. And then we got Twitcher, the single player game cat with the 2 quid says his name is Achilles, Brian. Oh my god, you guys are never gonna. This is why I don't live stream games anymore, because you never let me live down. Things like Gorn. Oh my god, it's classic without Parole. Holy crap. All right, before I die of heat, it's time to get out of here. Thank you again, Wes. Thank you everybody for hanging out. This was a long ass stream, and most of you guys were here for the entire thing. Good times. Thanks everybody who supports the channel financially over here on patreon.com/withoutprogames, or over here by being a member or tipping during the show. It keeps the lights on, and trust me, we need a lot of lights for this thing. This one right here specifically, and it's very important. But thanks everyone who doesn't support us financially. We're just happy that you're here. We're happy that you're part of the community. You're a big deal to us. The fact that you're here watching live, shooting the shit in the chat, it makes the whole thing more fun. Right? You're entertaining us as simultaneously while we're trying to entertain you. We love it. Bro, we are getting out of here without playing a 4-minute challenge, and you know it. And let's revel in that. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who sits back, watches the show, doesn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Happy Wednesday, Wes.
Happy Wednesday, Brian. Happy Wednesday, cats. Have a good rest of your week.
Let's go. Not only are we not doing a 4-minute challenge, we're also not seeing what happened this day in Without Parole history. We're fucking done, you